The semi-important, it stores it where it's supposed to be. But more importantly, it flushes your brain. So as you're sleeping, the water that's inside your skull is being flushed out. So by the next day, all the bullshit that was in your brain throughout the day, all the adrenochrome, all that bullshit gets flushed out, therefore reviving or giving your brain some new nutrients. So if you do not get the proper sleep necessary, you do not allow your body to do that process.
Did you learn this today?
We are live. No, I did not learn this today.
I don't know why, but I very rarely have dreams now. But I used to have some fucked up dreams when I was a kid. Fucked up dreams.
Yeah, I don't dream much either.
I'm
What
sure
up,
I
El
do. I just
Nini?
don't
How you
remember
doing,
it.
bro? What's up, RPG? How you doing? Nelson's the biggest slut. I know.
I was. I used to be. Ask my wife. I took her to my reunion. That was a bad idea.
Oh, I was a slut last night, all right. Left my house at like 10 o'clock or some shit and get home till like 11 noon. Picked up my kid, went to the hospital, visit my dad, ate dinner at my mom's, and
Your dad was in the hospital?
yeah, he's in the hospital, yeah.
I didn't know that. Tell him
I will tell you later.
later. Okay.
I will PvP that. What up, El Nini? RPG is gonna give some time for people to come in. Also, I was thinking, I might put an intro song. Now it will be bootleg. It will be ghetto as fuck because obviously I don't have the setup to like edit and do all that bullshit, do all that fancy stuff. So I just put my Bluetooth speaker on my headset while I fucking get my shit ready. And guess what song
You
I might do? It's a song that's got billions of views on YouTube alone, so everybody knows this fucking song. Nelson, you want to take a gander?
thrift shop? I don't know.
No, Gautier. Uh, what's the name of the fucking song? Somebody I used to know.
You know I can get songs and have CR guitar as the intro too.
Yeah, I know you're telling me about it. This song right here.
I want to have him on sometime, but I don't know how to come up with enough music questions to ask him.
You know why I can use this song? Because it is free. No fucking licensing, no copyright, no nothing. Shout out to the artist. He made it free for everybody. So he ain't making no money on this motherfucker. But,
Idiot.
well, some people do it for the passion, bro.
I
So
don't do
this
shit
is
for passion.
this is
I
what
want to
what
get
I found
money.
out though. The girl that sings in the song, she wanted to get paid, but she didn't get paid. So she was going broke. Her studio was like, all right, we're gonna do your album now that you went fucking quadruple platinum with this song, and her album came out triple cardboard, so they fucking got rid of her ass, and she was going broke, so she started a fucking NFT, and after she got all the money from her people, she disappeared. The fucking NFT off. And yeah, people weren't happy about that. Obviously, she's back around and shit, but it's just crazy what desperation will have people do. Or she could have just got a fucking job. You know what I mean? I'm sure she could get
Yeah,
paid a couple grand a night for singing at a fucking. I'm sure there's a bar somewhere that'll be like, look,
club or
I'll give
something.
you
Yeah.
$1,000, sing the fucking song 5 times. You know what I mean? Fucking free drinks. Do that fucking 2 times a week. There, you're making 2 G's a week, which is more than what most people in the world make. Like, come on,
More than I
bro.
make.
Come on, bro. Come on. But today we have, I hope it's going to be a good conversation. I mean, I know it's going to be. I'm going to fucking be going hard on everybody. I'm going to go hard on Nintendo, on Sony, on, well, Xbox. I don't even know if I'll be talking about it. Oh, we will. For some reason, Nelson wanted to talk about the showcase or what, the director.
We only had two
It's
topics,
like,
so
who fucking cares about them? They're not doing anything. All I want to know is when are their games coming to PlayStation? That's all I really care about. So we have that. We're going to be talking about Nintendo with their reveal last week. We will be talking about PlayStation's live service fiasco. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about that, so I'm excited to tell you guys what I think. And yeah, so each one of those topics will have subtopics, Nintendo Switch pricing, release date, games, PlayStation, what they're doing, what they haven't done, what we want them to do, stuff like that. So let's give people a few more minutes before we get started. And yeah, Kazan, almost gave up on it. I almost gave up on the first Berserker Kazan until they told me that you get to pick difficulty after you beat the boss. And I did. I beat it, and then I picked difficulty, and the game plays how I wanted it to play now. I just think it's complete fucking horseshit that they saved that for after this boss fight. It's like, what are you guys doing? Do you guys just
I
wanna?
already quit. I already wrote it off.
Yeah,
So
see, Nelson's never gonna play it again because he couldn't
I'm never playing it
fucking
again.
pick fucking difficulty in the beginning. It's like, is that
I
what you
wasn't
want?
enjoying the combat that much, anyways. I was fucking 3 swings, and I can't even dodge no more. Like, I'm done with this shit. I got time for this. I got too many other games to play. So scratch that off my list. I'm done with that.
Well, Nelson sucks at video games. But yeah, I agree with him. I'm like, like, there's no reason for games to be this fucking hard, bro. I know that some of you guys fucking like suck hard games fucking dick, but look, the majority of the world doesn't. People remember the
I work
average.
hard at work. Life's hard enough as it is. I don't need any other.
Yeah, and I know that pisses people
I don't
off.
need everything to be a challenge. It's hard. It's a challenge to make it fucking day to day as it is. I got enough. What do you want to call it? Challenges that I got to do in life.
Yeah. People really don't like it when they say that, oh, Souls games, I fucking love Souls. Well, you can't even call a hard
I didn't
game.
mind if a game was hard when I was younger, but then again, I couldn't afford that many games, so I was trapped on a level for 2 weeks. That was fine because I knew I could just fucking pop something else in. I got more games than I fucking will ever know what to do with.
Well, you have all day when you're a kid. You don't really have shit to do, so you can fight the
That's
same
true.
boss 100 times and learn his fucking pattern and do that. But the reality is, the majority of gamers that are sustaining the video game industry are 30 years of age and older. That's just a fact. The majority of gamers are 30 plus.
The highest spenders.
So, or the highest spender. So these people generally have a job, have a family.
Look at me. Sunday's supposed to be my number one day of the week to game, and I'm going in and working every Sunday because I need the fucking money.
So
That's what kills my hours the most. Fridays are for appointments and spend time with my kids. Missed them all week. Saturdays to get shit done around the house, and then I reward myself with game time. Sunday's supposed to be just laundry and all game time, but I'm at work, so that cuts my gaming time for the week basically in half.
Alrighty, y'all. We are 10 minutes after the show started, so let's get it popping. Before we do, I want to say thank you to El Nini, RPG88, for being in the chat. You guys are out here. The people that are not on the chat but are listening, thank you so much for being here today. It's going to be a good one, man. We have some good topics, some important topics. That's what makes them good. It's not that we have topics because of the busy gaming week news-wise, but because these are important topics, and that's what's going to make it good. Me and Nelson are lifelong gamers. We have been gaming for 30 plus years, just like most of you guys have out there. And the video game industry is going through some transitions. And I know they've been transitioning for a few years. It's nothing new. But the transitions are here and they are now. They are happening right before our eyes. So, super interesting stuff. We have some good stuff for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch. the reveal. There's been a lot of people not liking that. A lot of people not liking that, which we'll get into why. We will also be going through everything Switch, right? Price point, release date, the direct that's happening in April. We will be talking about games that we want to see, games that we think will be released, and what we saw during the reveal. We will also be going over PlayStation, their live service fiasco, their first party single player games that we all miss and love. We are even going to talk about some history. We are also going to be talking about the Xbox Developer Direct, which is happening on Thursday this week, which makes it the 23rd, I believe. And yeah, so we have a lot of topics for you guys, a lot of subtopics. So please get involved, chat, get involved with us, ask us some questions, give us your opinions. I'm going to be reading throughout the night and bring them in as we are going along. As you guys see here, I have the first Berserker Kazan up on the screen. We talked about that a little bit ago. How many of you guys enjoy the demo? How many of you guys are going to get the game? Nelson just gave his piece about it. I kind of gave my piece about it too. But let's hear from you guys out there. Are you interested in the first Berserker Kazan after you play the demo? Are you not? Or have you even played the demo? Mind you, this game is still 2 months away, so you have plenty time to make up your mind. But I would like to see where you're at today. Now, before we get started, Nelson, people missed you last week. You had some family stuff going on, so you couldn't make it.
Yeah, my wife was in the hospital. I didn't plan on that happening. I planned on being at home, but I didn't plan on taking 3 days off and being down there either. So
emergencies happen, man. Yeah, families first. We never know what can happen. So hey, it is what it is. He's here with us today. Thankfully, his wife is doing better. She's home with her family, so that's great news. We are blessed. But before we start the show, why is this loading? All right. Before we start or before we continue, I need you guys to give me about 30 seconds. I'm going to wash my hands. Before I do that, Nelson, tell the people what you've been gaming on this week, if you have been gaming this week.
Mostly Banishers and Power Rangers. Power Rangers with my kids. I play that as long as I can stand them, but they start fighting and fucking. There's some mini games in there that they play, like this egg break game or whatever, where you like charge up your, you know how you chop the karate blocks and shit like that. You do like eggs and then bag of flour and then a roll of quarters, and oh my god, they always like, let's play Power Rangers. We play one stage and then we go to the Juice Bar arcade in between levels or whatever, and they just sit there and argue over who's gonna play that dumb shit. These little mini games they have in there for free. Fucking weird.
Yeah, I've been wanting to buy the Power Rangers game. I'm waiting for it to go on sale. I missed the original PlayStation Plus member sale that they had before the game came out, where I think it was like 10% or something like that. But it was a game I wanted to play, but it wasn't a game I was ready to buy day one because I wasn't sure when I want to get to it.
It was pretty messed up the first 2 weeks anyways.
Oh, so good, yeah. So Mr. Nelson says that I buy everything day one. I absolutely fucking don't. And if you see my videos, you know that I don't.
I might not buy a goddamn day one game this whole year. I'm not even shitting you.
Oh, I do. There's a few games. I actually got one pre-ordered right now, which actually I want to talk about because Nelson knows about this game. And here, we'll start with this first topic. Kingdom Come Deliverance. That is set to be dropping early February. Let me look at my sheet here to get the exact date. So it's a game that I've been looking forward to, which comes out, let's see here, Kingdom Come Deliverance, February 14th. Wait, that was the old date, ain't it? They moved that puppy up. Where's my other list? Let's see here.
God damn it, Twitter's not working.
February 4th, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has been going through some man-made controversy. So, some rumors started early in the week that the game was banned in Saudi Arabia. And people were speculating on what it could have been. I thought, this was my thought, Nelson. My thought was that because this is the Middle Ages, I thought that it was something with religion, you know, something religious, right? Because Saudi Arabia is mainly Muslim, Middle East Muslim. So I figured, okay, maybe the game had something with Muslims and they didn't portray it accurately, and that's why the game got banned. But as time went on, news started coming out, or people started rumoring that no, it wasn't because of religious things. Which, by the way, FYI, I understand, right? I am a firm believer that each country should do what they think is best for their country. And if they feel a piece of entertainment, they do what they got to do. Me personally, not here. We're in America, buddy. We got the First Amendment. We believe in freedom of speech, say whatever the fuck we want. But I know that not everybody or everywhere is like that, so I understand their point of view. But what people were saying is that, no, that's not it at all. It's that they have a gay or homosexual in the game or something like that. And I was like, no, couldn't be. Well, what's the context of it, right? Because it doesn't matter if there's a gay person in a video game. It's how they're portrayed, right? Are they a woke freaking dude, or are they, what's happening? Is there an agenda that they're pushing? That is my question. Well, I found out that there really wasn't any controversy. This controversy was made up by the wokes to have the non-wokes, the grifters, go hard. This is real. To go hard and block a game that is supposed to be meant for them. What do you mean by that, Will? What do you mean meant for them? Well, the director, aka co-CEO of Warhol Studio, has been under fire before. The woke, or people on the left, have been trying to cancel him and block him for years because, of course, they use all the magic words. So when I found that out, that really, really surprised me that, hey, these people were just trying to ban this guy not that long ago. They were trying to cancel him. They were calling him all the naughty words. Why would he do something like this to appease that crowd, right? Well, no, they didn't. They fabricated the whole thing to have the grifters cancel their own game from people from their own side. So there's 40 chess going on out here, y'all. Now, I'm not the type to just say I'm not buying the game for no reason whatsoever, except if there's some obvious things on there, like I'll give you one. If it's online only or online requirement, that I will not buy the game retail. I will wait for it to go pre-owned and then I'll buy it that way. So the company making it doesn't get none of my money because I don't support that. But that's one of the few reasons. Everything else, I play myself. I'll decide myself. I don't need nobody telling me, hey, you should not play this for this reason or you should play it for that reason. I don't give a fuck. I'll take your opinion, but I'll do my own. But that's the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 RPG. But that was the whole dilemma with that. And mind you, the whole thing that it got blocked in Saudi Arabia, that is false. No video game reporter from Saudi Arabia has reported this. Nobody has reported this. So this was completely fabricated. Now, that doesn't mean something may happen in the next couple weeks and they actually find something, right? But I just want to give you guys a quick update because I know that the internet is full of shit and there's bullshit everywhere. So from here on out, guys, we know what the capabilities are of the internet and what they will lie about just to make something happen. So don't fall for the first thing you see. Go out there, do your own research, and make up your own mind. Or you can check in with us here at the State of Game podcast, which we will give you the information that we have when we have it. But that, I found this would be super fucking crazy. RPG says, I'll pick it up on sale. Looks fun, just not day one fun for me. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is for people. I'm getting it day one. I already got it pre-ordered. I got the gold edition. With pre-orders, I tell people all the time, keep an eye out for reviews. At the earliest, you get the review about a week before the game comes out. Warhorse has been giving copies of this game out to reviewers for the last month. So that lets you know their confidence with video games, with their game, and how well the game, or how highly they think of their own game, because we've seen many many instances where reviewers will get the fucking a copy the day before, and then the game comes out and it's broke to shit, right? So the fact that Warhorse has given these people ample time to review the game speaks volume, and we're excited. Some of the reviews I've seen have been saying that this game is like the first one, except that it is way more polished, no bugs, everything is multiplied. So everything you loved is multiplied. The combat has been redefined. So it's looking really really good. Is that a game that you're looking at playing, Nelson?
I didn't really get into the first one, so eventually, maybe.
So that's the other thing. I didn't get into the first one either. I got maybe about 15 hours into the first one. Um, but for some reason,
Why the
this
hell do you
one,
want to play the second one?
what the fuck do you mean? Why do I want to play the second one? Because it looks good to me. What do you,
It's more Kingdom Come if you didn't finish the first one.
yes. Yes, it is more Kingdom Come. Absolutely. But what's different this time around is that the combat actually looks fucking good and not mid like the old one. What's up, Tornado? You in?
Yo, I'm in.
How you doing, bro? You off tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. I figured, like, you know what? Let me jump in and see what you guys are talking about.
You guys celebrate Martin Luther King Day Jr. too?
No, I do
Oh,
know
that's
the
a
Mando, but we don't have a celebration over here, at least in the country where I live. So, but I do know it's around.
yeah, it's
So
a holiday
there's a
here in the
difference.
States.
Yeah.
We
I
have
gotta go to work, but the kids are off.
yeah, kids
Oh
are
well.
off. Some people are off from work. I don't,
All
but
Government
right.
jobs.
government jobs
Oh well.
basically. Yeah. But let's
Well,
get into it, man.
yeah.
Tornado, the first topic we're gonna go through is actually the
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo Switch and the reveal. So
Oh yeah.
let's start with you
Oh
since you're
yeah.
our guest. The reveal. What you think of the reveal?
Sure. We knew it was coming, right? But to be honest with you, it kind of felt like it was what's the right wording I can use here? I'd say Nintendo's hand was forced, right? Let's be honest. I mean, we know more from the leaks and everything that's been out there than what Nintendo kind of showed in that
Don't
introductory
have
clip, right?
specs or nothing like that, or even what the deck looks like. To be honest,
That's why it was a
Exactly.
well, if
reveal.
there is a deck.
No. They only showed the machine itself, the two little Joy-Con thingies, and how you can use it and whatnot. And they showed this Mario Kart game, and I'm like, yeah, it's you knew it was coming because let's be honest, the Switch from 2017 is long in the tooth. It to be honest with you, it already kind of showed its age 2-3 years ago. But that would be me. Um, on one hand, I'm like, okay, it's something new, but on the other hand, I'm like, man, it's kind of underwhelming. And I'm saying this without putting a Sega Saturn glass on or whatever you want to call it. From my perspective, I'm just looking at it objectively. I'm like, okay, you see something new, but it's hardly any different than the original Switch. Maybe, sure, the Joy-Cons can do something. They're magnetic, and that's all I'm seeing. And I'm like, man, it's hardly a change from the original one. But hey, I could be wrong, eh?
Well,
But
Nelson,
that's it.
go ahead, turn it, finish up.
Yeah, but that's how I see it. Eh? And
Nelson, what did you think of the reveal?
Wasn't much, but Nintendo knows that if they have a $500 or $600 handheld, people
they're not
they
gonna
sell so
sell.
many handhelds to families that have multiple kids and shit like that. Nobody's going out and buying their 4 kids $700 handhelds.
Nah,
They're
they're not
not,
gonna do
and they
that.
know that. They know their audience.
Oh yeah. This thing
The
is
only
gonna
thing,
sell for $3.99. It's that simple. They know their audience, indeed, like you said, Nelson.
if I had 3 kids or something, and I had to each buy them a fucking $700 handheld, they'd be getting a dick. That's what I'd be saying.
Oh man.
Because you
Well,
can't buy for one and not for the others. I just wish, and maybe it is an option or an option in the future. We don't know. I don't even know if it's possible, but I'd like to see them have like you have the regular deck or whatever that just puts your shit on your TV, but a separate deck that you can plug your device into it and get more out of it. Because then I only got to buy one of those,
Mm-hmm.
and I can buy it later on.
well, all right. Well, that's the thing. This was just a reveal, so we don't know
There might be
exactly.
something like that or something like that in the works.
Exactly. Exactly.
They could have 2 or 3 different decks. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
We don't
I don't
know.
even know if that's a possibility.
But
that's true. Those are the things that they still have as their card in their chest.
and I
Like,
will give you
what Bill
guys
said, we don't know.
I will give you guys a couple things that I saw in the reveal that a lot of people they have been just focusing on what it looks like, but they didn't really take a deeper look. For example, what I saw was magnetic controllers, which
Yep.
Tornado brought up.
I mentioned that. Yep.
Right. We have the Joy-Cons, which has the mouse effect or the mouth feature like they do with the Lenovo. I think that's what that thing is called.
Oh yeah. I've seen that in not on the clip, but I saw that on a screenshot indeed, that you could use it as a mouse thingy.
Yep. So it had it in the reveal. It has the bigger SL and RL buttons on the right side of the Joy-Cons. It has 2 USB-C ports, not just one. It also has a 3.5 millimeter jack, and it also is backwards compatible. Now, people that are saying it's under,
because I'm not starting my kid's handheld fucking library over again either.
But there's an asterisk with the. I saw that with the backwards compatible. So some games might not work. They did
that's the same thing with PlayStation. That's the same thing with Xbox. That's the same with everybody.
I'm just curious.
You never want to say 100% because there's always that.
I know, but I'm curious to know what are the games that do not work. But we won't find out until the machine is out there on the market, right?
And I'll tell you right now,
I'm willing to bet you they're not the big ones. They're
tiny.
Oh no, they're going to be smaller ones.
Yeah, they're going to be the PS5. There's like 10 that don't work on the PS5. Never fucking heard of one of them in my life.
Exactly.
None of them.
But the thing too is that not just that, it's they're very minuscule games. And by the way, there were games that didn't work on the OLED. There was a couple games that didn't work on the Switch Lite. So just within the same console generation,
that's true.
There were one or two games that didn't.
Because that could end up with you in trouble with.
Indeed, I forgot about that one again. Will is on point on that one.
But people have been very pissed off. Not me. I'm not pissed off. I think this is one of the situations, or I think, well, first off, with the Switch, the reveal, I think we have the leakers to blame for this. I think that Nintendo was forced to release this because it was already out there.
I think they wouldn't have done it till like March, right before that Direct.
And that's what they announced. Yeah, and that's what they announced. Nintendo
I bet you it would have been late March. They would have shown the device off, and then they would have had the Direct 2 weeks later. They would have had that announcement.
Exactly.
You gotta wait only 2 more weeks away. We're gonna have a show, and you'll know what's coming for it.
Exactly.
It was forced. It was
so that's simple. Number one. It was forced. We all know that they've been leaking this thing heavy for the last month and a half.
Yep.
So we all knew exactly what it was. Now, the thing that really surprises me is how accurate the leaks were. I mean, these people got everything correct, which is rare, right? Because Nintendo and their
the machine, the look of
the kids, like the kids stumble up on their Christmas presents and then they have to act surprised when they open them on Christmas Day.
Yep. Yeah, they had everything. And I'm willing to bet even the innards inside of the machine, the specs, they're accurate, man. They are fucking accurate.
Yeah. So, and then the second thing, this was just a reveal. So that's another thing I've been seeing people pissed off about. Oh, like we didn't know, we didn't see anything, they didn't tell us no specs. I'm like, bro, it's just a reveal. This isn't going to give you none of that stuff. That's why they gave you a date, April 4th. April 4th is when they're going to give you the whole rundown. They're going to give you the show that you want where they fucking put a skirt on the Switch, make it bend over on stage so you can really be out, wowed and googly-eyed. Exactly. So that's when that's going to happen. So I don't understand what the big frustration is. Secondly, the same old is sometimes good. Having the same old is good. For example, Nelson said it himself already. I'm not starting my kids' new console generation with a new library.
Yep.
And if you go back and just look,
a couple old throwbacks and a couple Nintendo games, but mostly they play on PlayStation. It's something to keep their ass quiet in the car. They're at a doctor's appointment, or they got to wait for me, or you know what I mean.
So
they know they're not a primary platform for most people outside of the East. They know that.
For years, and people have been talking about a Switch Pro. This is that plus 2. You know what I mean? So people have been saying this for years. Hey, we love the Switch. We don't want it to change. We love the cartridge. We just wish it had this, this, and that. And I think this is where Nintendo's coming from. So for the people that are pissed off that this thing was a reveal or that they didn't get more, well, it's just a reveal. For the people that are bitching that there's not enough newness to it, well, what do you want? This is the first time Nintendo has ever done backwards compatibility on any of their fucking consoles. And they heard you. People wanted something that was backwards compatible. Nintendo gave it to you for the first time in their history. For the first time in their history, they're naming it 2. They've never named anything 2. It's always been a new name or the same name with an additive name. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance.
NES, SNES. Yep.
Exactly.
3DS.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always been additive. Thirdly, is... What's up, Angus? How you doing? Nintendo is dropping the right console at the right time. All right? We cannot be sitting here and being hypocrites when I just mentioned that people have been wanting backwards compatibility. They gave it to you. People wanted basically the Switch 2. They gave it to you. So what are we mad at Nintendo about? What I am mad at Nintendo about is partly the same reason I'm mad at PlayStation, which is they just keep doing these fucking remasters or HD or fucking whatever games. It's like, bro, come on, it's time. Just put the shit online. Let us be able to play it. And I think they should be able to do that now with the Switch too. But we will see. Now, there's been some leaks out there, which, once again, the leaks have been accurate, but the leaks also show us pricing. Have you guys seen pricing out there for the Switch 2? I showed it on one of my videos.
How accurate it is because a lot of it came from Reddit.
I've seen some accessories in there. Yep, I've seen some accessory prices and whatnot.
I've been saying for the longest, if they go over 500, they're not going to sell over 60 million.
It's not going to be over 500. They can't be over 500.
I know. That's why I said 400. They can hit 100 million again. If they go to 5, they're not going to sell over 75. And if they go over to past 500, they're not going to sell very many. Not going to. It'll be a Wii U generation.
Knowing where I live in my country, since it's in euros, I'm willing to bet, sure, the rest of the world $3.99, and over here Nintendo's going to ask $4.49 for the damn thing. I can bet you, I'm almost willing to bet money on that. So you've seen what they've done. You've seen what they've done with the PlayStation 5 over here in my country, right? It didn't went up in your country though, but here in Holland, man, they dumped 50 euros on top of it though. I was lucky to get mine for $4.99 though back then, the base one. So.
Yeah, I think
all of a sudden they sold it for $5.49.
I think the leak is right on the pricing again. I mean, once again, they've been right on everything, so why not right on the price? I think the price will be $3.99.99, Euro, pound, and American.
$4.49 over here. Yep.
$4.49 for him. But that just makes a lot of sense. The Switch OLED is $350 only because it's an OLED. So based on what I don't know if this came on the leak or not, but rumors have been that if they do this, it's a mistake, right? But they're saying that the Switch 2 will not have an OLED screen. It will have a LCD screen, and that's why it's at $3.99. If they would have done an OLED screen on the Switch 2, then it would have been $449.99. Which I'm like, that's silly, man. The Switch is already. It was an old technology when it came out. You're here to tell me that 8 years later you still cannot fucking bring pricing down? Yes, the fuck you can.
And
but remember,
that's my criticism that I have with Nintendo. It's my opinion. If I look at Switch 2, it feels like I'm where I were to buy one of those things, and I'm not. I feel like I'm buying a machine that's being made with off-the-shelf parts. I always said that with the first Switch as well, and I'm saying that with the second as well. It feels like off-the-shelf parts to me. What I'm seeing. Like you said, the 1080p LCD
They don't invest in their hardware like PlayStation.
Yeah, I know. And it's sad, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nintendo makes fantastic games on a mechanical level, but technology-wise, they're fucking behind, man. I hate to say it.
And they're never going to be that. They're never, ever going to be that. They're never going to compete.
That's why they're so profitable. They know.
Yes. I know. It works for them. I get it.
Look at the handhelds. When the PlayStation 3 was 500 and the Xbox 360 was 400, you could go out and get yourself a DS for like $150 or whatever the hell it was.
I know. I get it.
Yeah, the thing that sets Nintendo apart from everybody else is the games, the IPs. That's it. Exactly. So they will put together whatever they can.
like a set-top box. They haven't, in my opinion, they haven't had. You can say the Wii sold 100 million, but let's be honest, most of those went to grandpa and grandmas that put that shit in the closet and never used it. And didn't sell any fucking software at all.
Yep.
Their handhelds have carried them since the mid 90s. I don't care what anybody says.
It is true.
That's what they've been successful on, and they've all been successful other than the Wii U. And why did people not buy the Wii U? Because they seen the name Wii and they're like, oh, I bought that shit. That shit never made it back out of the closet. And they weren't going to buy another something for it.
During the Wii, they went towards the casual market. You know, they went to the non-gamers, and that was
you sell the console, you made your money at the console, but you didn't make no fucking money after that. Period.
But the Switch in general,
but the Advance was still selling good and selling games.
Well, that's what kept them afloat during the Wii U, era. Yeah. I mean, the handheld.
Even Nintendo 64 didn't sell shit, but you know what did? Fucking Game Boy Color.
And the thing is, the Switch is the perfect console for Nintendo, right? Because it takes both those ideas, and that's another thing that I'm like telling people is like, bro, why are you so mad about? Like, Nintendo had a genius idea, which is an idea
and it's still working for them.
And it still works. Yep. And how many kids, us, when we were kids in the fucking 90s, how many kids dreamed of being able to play at home? Your mom and dad comes in like, hey, let's go. We're going to fucking grandma's house. It's a 30-minute drive. And you're like, oh, I wish I can just take it with me. I wish there was a screen in this controller and I can continue playing in the car. Yep. You know, I plug it into the cigarette lighter.
That's why
in the
I
car.
Always had like 2-generation old handheld or a generation or 2 generations because it was cheap, but I just wanted something to play in the car. But then I had my better box was at home. That's where I played most of the time. And that's what Nintendo is. It's everyone's side bitch.
There's no reason for Nintendo to come out with something, you know, there's no reason whatsoever. They've been successful. The customer, the gamer loves that concept, and they should keep it going. And you know what? If this Switch 2 does as well as the Switch 1, they should do a Switch fucking 3. And guess what it should be? The same exact thing, but even more powerful. So the rumors are saying that the Switch 2 will have the same power as like a PS4, Xbox One. All right, roughly. Give or take a little bit. Of course, it's not going to be the same. That is enough. That is enough for the type of games that they make, the art style, the whole 9 yards. So in another 7-8 years, if the Switch 3 comes out and it has the same strength as like a PS5, that is enough. In another 8 years, to come out with a Switch 4 and it has the strength of a PS6, that is enough. That's it, guys. You know, over here in the console world, we are
cost. People are not gonna pay. Most people, some people are gonna be like, I got a fucking ROG Ally. Yeah, well, not a lot of people do. And not a lot of people are gonna.
Ain't nobody buying that shit.
Pay that much for a handheld that you're gonna use less than 50 hours a year. Let's be honest. Most people outside of the East, everyone owns a Nintendo. Most people put 100 hours or less into it every year. Just keep it a buck.
Yeah, ain't nobody buying that shit. Those fucking Lenovo's and those ROGs and even the fucking Steam Deck, those are meant for the hardcore gamer. Those aren't meant for fucking your casual, the majority of people who are buying this shit. They're just not.
Men who fucking take business trips all the time and they're on the fucking plane half their life, you know?
The Switch, that's a whole other fucking thing. That is something the hardcore gamer can do. That is something the casual can do. That is something that everybody can fucking do. And once again, the best part about the Switch is you can take it with you or you can play it at home. But that being said, so the leaks have been that the thing is going to cost $400 because it will not have an OLED screen, which I think is a big miss for Nintendo. To me, that's just them fucking pulling every penny they can out of the thing because they can really sell that thing for $400 and put an OLED screen on there. You know, I understand that the screen will be bigger, so it will be more expensive. But come on, bro. I guarantee you Nintendo's cost on that fucking Switch is less than $100. Less than $100 right now. So I just don't understand why the fuck you can't give a little to get a little back. And that will go a long way towards the gamer. That will go a long way towards the people that are going
to $250, you know what I mean? Or $250 with a game. I don't know, but
yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Been a decade.
But we saw a sneak peek at the game that they're coming out with. We're guessing, right, that the game will be available day one, which is Mario Kart. We don't know if it's Mario Kart 9. We don't know if they're going to call it something else, but the art style is completely different.
They'll stick with the way it is. I want to see a new Metroid, though.
The way what is?
The Mario Kart 9. They won't break the numbers. I don't think.
Oh,
again.
no. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, are they going to do like Mario Kart 8 but updated, or they're going to do a brand new game called Mario Kart 9? That's the question that I
Good
have.
question. Yeah.
You know, because knowing Nintendo, they love fucking doing remasters. They love doing fucking HD updates. I mean, look at fucking Luigi's Mansion. How many times did that thing get re-released? You know what I mean? Nintendo is prevalent with shit like that. So
It-
that's what I really want to see.
I want to know. I want to see now if they're gonna remaster shit. Is it gonna be like $10 where I can buy it on PlayStation and
Oh,
get the
fuck no.
update? Probably not. That shit's gonna be full
No.
price.
Well,
I know
that's-
it is.
That's the other question.
Nintendo is masters
Shit,
at
I'll
making
pay 20,
something,
but
and
I
it
know
prints
they're gonna be
money
like
for them.
$70, bitch.
Well, there's
That's what they're doing.
there
They
is
wanna
third
make
party
something-
aftermarket parts out there that you can buy right now for your Nintendo Switch that will convert that thing from 30 frames to 60 frames. It's already out there. It's just difficult. Well, it's not difficult to install, but for normal people, they don't really have like. Remember when the PlayStation in the stand with the screw is something similar to that. It's a little bit more detailed oriented than just a screw, but it's something similar where people were bitching about the screw on the stand. They were not going to go ahead and buy upgrade like this to make it 60 frames. Now the hardcore gamer may, right? Like I thought about it, but I was like, you know what? I don't really play this fucking thing, so I'm not going to put the effort into it. But what I think is going to happen is that the Switch 2, unless once again Nintendo makes it so, like PlayStation did by changing the teeth of the fucking plate
Oh, the
holder,
faceplates. Yeah,
just so you could buy a new one, right? Nintendo could do something like that. But what I'm thinking, or what I'm hoping, is that the system is strong enough to automatically, because I don't think that the console is going to change the infrastructure, meaning that, you know, I just think it's a power base, a horsepower thing. I think that the system will be able to push those games as is. I don't think that they'll have to remake or remaster anything in order to get the performance out of it. But once again, it's Nintendo, so they may do the shit on purpose. So if you want Mario Kart 8, but with the Switch 2 performance, you have to buy the fucking Mario Kart 8 Switch 2 edition. Or Breath of the Wild, you got to buy the Switch 2 edition instead of just allowing the console itself to do the work. And remember that there's also AI in this console. So we're moving in that direction as well.
They're just HD, which means they're just a port. They didn't even remaster it.
Yeah, just a port. Nintendo lost money. Yes, they do. That's why I'm so surprised that the Nintendo ninjas weren't out here attacking people as early as December. I just don't understand why they weren't out here. They do that for everything else, but they didn't do it this time around. Super interesting.
Nintendo. There's
So-
a thing that's going around in the gaming community,
Hey,
right? You always
Nintendo's
say
fucking
about,
ruthless, man. People talk
yeah.
about Sony money handing games back in the games. They just said, if you're gonna put your shit on other people's shit, you ain't putting it on ours.
exactly.
That's simple.
but
And
that was,
you need us.
So do
They
you
didn't
guys
give money for nobody. They just said you're not putting it on the competitors. Period.
So do
Yeah,
you guys
that's true,
think that release date is also accurate based on what the leaker said, which is June
It seems like it was July. That seems
or June, July?
a very strange time, to be honest with you.
Well, it ain't the first time they've released something in June, July, or summertime. They've done that before.
Pretty sure it is. They have the last one was in spring. All their releases have been spring or fall.
Yeah. So I
I
mean,
don't think a
if,
console's ever released in the summer since like the 90s when there was a new one
Well,
sprouting
you
up
know,
every week.
it's Nintendo, and they always seem to get a pass in, AKA they always seem to get away with everything. So why not? I have a feeling they're in that same realm, just like Rockstar Games when they bring out a GTA. These suckers can bring it out anytime they want, and people still buy it.
well, does it matter? Does the date matter?
I don't think the date matters. As long as it has Nintendo stamped on it, they'll buy it.
Okay, does the date
Date,
matter for
time.
others, like PlayStation or Xbox? Does it matter for them?
Maybe a little bit more, I guess.
Because we've been seeing them drop in November, right? December.
Mhm.
But
yeah.
does that even fucking matter? I mean, they can drop it in February. They can drop it in June. They can drop it whenever the hell they want. Why do they drop it in November, December?
I think the eyes are a
Holidays.
little bit, not only that, but I have a feeling that they're, like I said, they're not in the realm of Nintendo or Nvidia. If that makes sense, that I'm now using a GPU manufacturer. What makes those two brands so special? And I've been saying this for years. It's not that they have the great products, though. It's people are used to their products and actually keep buying them every goddamn single time. It doesn't matter if it's great or not. They know, like, oh, it has Nvidia on it or Nintendo, I'll buy it. And guess what? Those two have in common. Knowing that Nvidia chips are powering those Nintendo Switches, and also powering this Nintendo Switch 2. Guess what? What's going to happen next, folks? The damn thing is going to sell because it has Nvidia on it. It's an interesting combination. I just thought of that in my head. Because let's be honest, every goddamn time when a GPU launches from Nvidia, they always sell. Same thing goes for Nintendo. Every goddamn
ARM
single
GPU,
time. I know. It's an ARM GPU. But anyway, it has Nvidia tech in it. Every goddamn single time that they bring something out, people buy it. It doesn't matter if it's bad or there's criticism against it or what we're saying now, like, hey, it's underpowered. It doesn't matter. Like what Will said, the games matter. And as long as Nintendo brings that out what people want, like Will said, hey, if people can bring that along the way, and if they're going to the grandmothers or whatnot, and they can bring it along the way, then that's what they're gonna buy.
Yeah,
It's that simple.
I don't think that. Well, El Nini says, "What's up, bro? How you doing, bro?" Angus, I said hi to you. El Nini says probably a stock issue more than anything. So Nintendo has set up infrastructure to be able to sell 20 million Switches in the first year.
Okay.
So they have it all set up that way.
That's not as high as you would think, because PlayStation did that and they'd been out for 3 years. They would have done that probably year one if you could buy the goddamn things.
Oh yeah, the pandemic was kind of a little bit of a
The
deal
first
breaker
2
for them.
years.
Yep.
That's why it took them year 3 to finally hit it, like have a 20 million year sales, because you couldn't buy them the first goddamn 2 years.
Yeah, but we're past that. We're not in the pandemic anymore.
Exactly.
And
that's
this thing,
now gone.
Yeah, and this thing has
but with
been
a
ready.
handheld, think about it. Kids are gonna want that for their birthday and shit like that, especially that first year. You got 3 kids, you got to buy 3 Switches. It's not like PlayStation or Xbox where you buy one, you put it on a TV, and it's for the family. You buy multiples of them. That's why most of the highest selling consoles outside of PS2 are handheld Nintendo products.
Well, the
Game
first
Boy,
Switch,
Game Boy Advance, 2DS, Switch, etc., etc.
well, the first Switch sold 13 million. So the fact that they got things set up for 20 million the first time around, they know what the demand could be on this thing, right? So I don't think that they're gonna be understocked like they were the first time. So they set themselves up. But like Tornado was saying, date with the Switch doesn't matter because they're gonna sell. They're gonna sell no matter what. People are looking forward to this thing, and if they and that's why
kids have birthdays in July, August, September,
all
October.
sorts of
Not
time.
only that, there's another factor that also plays in it. Keep in mind, I also watched the guy on YouTube that uses his iFixit tools, right? Steve with a little teardrop under his eye. People know who I'm talking about. And always I see broken switches on his program, and I'm like, wait a minute. How many broken switches are there worldwide? Because I bet you a lot of people are looking like, hey, I can play my old games on that Switch too. Believe me, a lot of people are going to upgrade towards that Switch too. Keep that in mind. It might be silly that I'm mentioning it, but it's going to play a factor as well. A lot of people are like, you know what? If I'm going to get a Switch, I might as well get a Switch too, since my old one has been broken down. Believe me, there's a lot of those people out there. Yeah,
We've had 3
library.
Switches in my house, and we ain't a big Nintendo family. When we're at home, my kids never. Well, you know what my kid's using the Switch for right now? Fucking YouTube. God damn it! He just discovered that recently. I'm pissed about it.
Yeah, I own 2 Switches as well, and I'm not a Nintendo Switch guy or family either.
It's just something you do on the road. We bought 3 of them because one of them broke. Well, actually, they're all fucking broken one way or another. But
well, like I said, it's broken. What are you gonna do if the new one comes out in the library? You're gonna buy a new one, and if it's gonna be a new one, you might as well get a Switch too.
Yeah, so I don't think the date means anything. I think that's why the June, July date is so plausible to me, because it will shake things up. And secondly, PlayStation, what's up, Stranger Moon? How you doing, man? PlayStation has been dropping hardware just about every single holiday for the last 3 years, 4 years. So I think Nintendo is just doing their thing.
Hardware.
Well, that's
I think it's a
hardware,
smart thing for
I
Nintendo to
don't
do, though.
consider a portable hardware.
but that is hardware.
Is it?
Yes, controllers. That's all
Nintendo-
It's an
hardware, dude.
accessory.
Yep, Nintendo is smart enough to combine their handheld division combined with the home console market and put it into one thingy. That
So-
was the smartest move that they made since 2017 with the original Switch.
If they can get out of that space for a little bit and get a big bulk of sales in the first, because people are also doing shopping before the holidays. I know some people that start their holiday shopping in April. You know what I mean?
There you
So
go.
if they can get that bulk of people, what I'm trying to say is there is no shortage of sales, and the date they
Nope.
drop it doesn't fucking matter. I actually think that June and July make a much better idea than November because it's going to give them the time needed in order to sell to these consoles. Also, fiscal year. I think that they really want to have a strong fiscal year for 2026, and that's why they're going to start selling it in the summertime. That makes a lot of sense for me. For those of you guys that don't know, financial fiscal
Because,
years for most
people-
companies
Oh, yeah.
It'll only be a few months after the
start between April, May, right around there, and they go through the following April, May. So right now,
Exactly,
these
for the next
people
year.
are
Yeah.
in fiscal year 26 already, and then
Mhm.
in March or April, May, right around there, that's when the fiscal year will end and the new one will begin. So if they can get it popping right at the beginning of that fiscal year, at the end of the fiscal year, their numbers are going to be pretty fucking solid, especially when they have it set up to sell 20 million consoles right off the gate. So it's going to be
Yep.
super interesting to keep an eye out on that. The other topic
Facts.
in regards to the Switch is games. So Nintendo drops games consistently. They do. They're doing anywhere between 2 to 5 first party games a year, would you guys say?
Something
first
around
or
that
second.
number.
They have a lot of second party partners. They
Yeah, but
slap
first
Nintendo
party.
on everything though.
First
so-
party.
Well, we don't know what their first party is because a lot of them are made by outside studios.
Well, I
But
would
they
say
put
anywhere
Nintendo on everything.
Hey, they
2
got a
to
lot of-
4. And then,
Let's
of
just
course,
say-
Like Nintendo, they put their name on shit. It doesn't matter if it was made by an outside company, an inside company. They don't have like studio names. A lot of
Hey,
them
let's,
are like
let's
Game,
be honest.
Game
they-
Freak's
they-
the only one I can think of
let-
that has an actual name.
Let's be honest. They always have more games than Xbox. That's a fact.
well, it's
You
not
can say
hard.
what you want. That's not
Everybody.
hard indeed. Sure.
Shit, I can make more games than fucking Xbox.
Their games don't take a whole lot either, though. Let's be honest.
So I'm just
300
checking
people
here.
could get you like 6-7 dev teams for Nintendo. Let's keep it a buck.
So there was only 2 first-party games that dropped last year for Nintendo, which is Super Mario Party Jamboree and Mario and Luigi Brothers. Was that right? They did drop Donkey Kong Country Returns, which is HD. Well, I'm just
Peach
looking at
game.
Google here.
Oh, wait, the Peach game.
I think the Peach game was last year, 2023.
Oh, that's even a year before them. Damn.
Yeah, we're
I
getting
thought it
old,
was
bro.
last year. Man, time flies.
Oh no, Peach was so here it says 2024, the year after 2023. No
Bought a
shit.
game this year.
The biggest release for 2024 were Princess Peach Showtime, which was March 22nd, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, September 26th, Super Mario Party Jamboree, October 17th, Nintendo Music, October 30th, Mario and Luigi
Shit.
Brothership, November 7th, and October
I never
9
did
and
buy that. I
30.
didn't hear the greatest things about that.
The Nintendo alarm clock. Did you ever get that fucking thing, Nelson?
Yeah, I got that bitch. Yeah, hell yeah, I did.
There you go. You're the fucking
Oh.
idiots
My
that
kids
Nintendo
love it.
relies on.
That's what gets my kids up in the morning.
Jesus.
Man, it
Um,
reminds me of that old school song from the 50s. We're in the money. Oh,
But-
you know how it goes.
Nelson
Whatever.
said it earlier. He's looking forward to Metroid. What games are you hoping that drop for the Switch 2?
My kids would be better to ask because I just really don't play handhelds that much. I really never have.
Okay,
I'm
that's
always
Unless
gonna
someone,
be-
unless someone decides to drive
Nelson.
me around everywhere I go.
Stop.
Yeah.
You are thinking of games you think may come out. No, I'm asking you what games do you Nelson want to play on the
No
Switch?
matter what I
Oh,
want, they ain't gonna
I-
make them.
But that's not the
Yeah,
question. Okay, I'll ask you the
I
question.
want a new
What?
Punch Out. I want a new
There you go.
F-Zero.
There you go.
Yeah,
What
I
else?
was
I
gonna
want a
say
new Donkey
F-Zero as
Kong
well.
There we
Country.
go. There we
Yeah.
go. I want a fucking Star Fox. That's what I want.
I want a new Star Fox.
That's
I'm
what we
tired of
want.
fucking Mario and fucking Zelda.
Let me
I
catch
never
up with
liked Zelda anyways.
Let me
Don't
catch up
sue
with
me.
that chat real quick. Stranger Moon says, my rumor, Sega coming with NVIDIA-based console with new Virtual Fighter release. Easy win, all home consoles and base except Switch, but it's handheld overpowered. No media or guy rumor this. He also says, this allows my rumor. Switch 2 release with Doom Dark Ages, RDR2, Oblivion remake. Mark my words, not media gaming can say this, only me. I agree with you, Stranger Moon. I think that, well, first, Nintendo already announced all the brand new third-party partnerships that they're doing. And it's a lot of them. Xbox is one of them. Who makes Final Fantasy? Square Enix is one of them.
Yep.
That's why when they said they're
Bandai
looking to do
Namco.
more, when Square said they were looking to do less PlayStation exclusives, they weren't talking about. They wanted to bring shit to Xbox. They
the
were talking
Nintendo
about they want to
Switch.
bring exactly.
The Switch 2.
There's a lot more money to be made there than off of
They
fucking
were already
Xbox.
eyeballing that one.
Thank you, El Nini. And Nini reminded us of Pokemon Stadium remake, and all the shit ton of Pokemon games. I mean, look, Nintendo can go crazy. Nintendo can come out here and be like, hey, remember Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow? Switch 2 only, baby. And they will sell fucking a quadrillion of each color. Of each color, they'll sell fucking 30 millions in a fucking 6-month period.
It's like their first fucking finesse shit, man. You had to buy both those to get all the Pokemon.
Yeah. Pokemon Snap. Go fucking remake that motherfucker and sell a shit ton. So I'm excited to see what Nintendo's gonna do. Look, my primary way of gaming is my PlayStation 5. My secondary one is the Xbox. The third one is the Switch, right? Which is less than 100 hours a year, like Nelson said earlier. But any of these consoles that I play on, they're up for competition. Any fucking day of the week, any month of the year, any year in the decade, I have no problems with saying, I'm not going to play my PlayStation. I'm not going to play my fucking Xbox. I'm not going to play my Nintendo because this console right here is the one that has the games I want to play, and it's the console that has my attention. It is up for grabs every single time. So any console maker out there can earn my fucking business. I'm not just going to play on PlayStation because PlayStation has a great history and the controller's awesome, which, by the way, I think the DualSense is the best controller in history. But if Nintendo can come out swinging, give me the games that I want to play, I have no problem with plugging that motherfucker into dock and playing that every single day for a couple hours and put in 2,000 gaming hours in that bitch like I do with the PlayStation. I have no problems. So I am hoping that they're able to do that because that is better for us gamers. Competition. Make these motherfuckers earn our money by coming out with the best games possible. I can almost guarantee you that Nintendo isn't going to come out here and put some fucking woke shit in my games. I can guarantee you that. The Princess Peach game, I almost bought that fucking game. I didn't care that it was Princess Peach. As a matter of fact, I almost bought it strictly because it was Princess Peach. I wanted to buy it because the gameplay looked cool. And I'm still going to buy Princess Peach.
Buy money.
I'm just going to wait for the sale, which is probably never going to be because Nintendo sells their shit for retail no matter what.
Sales, that's looking for a unicorn.
Hey, I got a saying. buy it from Nintendo for $50 at launch or wait 10 years and buy it for $60.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Well, by sale, what I mean, Tornado, is that, my GameStop points add up, where I have enough points. Okay. That's what I mean with sales with Nintendo.
Okay, that's your best shot indeed, because waiting on a sale on Nintendo?
No, I'm going to wait. So with GameStop, I get $5 reward coupon.
Price or wait and pay more.
Every single month, I get a $5 reward from GameStop, and then as I spend money, the points accrue. Well, I'm waiting till I get the $5 coupon, and I got like $15-20 in there, and then I'll apply that towards my purchase of Princess Peach. But they just make, we talk about gameplay so fucking much, and Nintendo is gameplay. It runs through their fucking veins. Gameplay. People can bitch about mechanics.
What they're good at.
People can complain about art style. People can complain about story. People can complain about length of a game. People can complain about a million things. But the one thing you cannot complain about with Nintendo is their mechanics, their gameplay. You cannot complain about that.
They are king on that, man.
So me and Nelson
denied it.
Me and Nelson spoke a little bit about the games that we want to see. Star Fox, Punch Out, games like that. Tornado, do you have any games that you're like, man, I played this when I was a kid. If they can do a part 2 or whatever, a remake on that game, I'm definitely interested in. What game would that be for you?
It's weird that I'm going to mention that one. It's actually a third-party one, but I doubt we'll ever see that on the Switch. Or I mean, they haven't done anything in years with that franchise. I would love to see a Castlevania, man, a proper one, a good one. But I think that's wishful thinking, man. At this point, Konami hasn't done nothing with that franchise in, I'd say, years, if not decade. I mean, a decade plus at this point.
That would be the one thing to get them off their ass, is being able to sell on PlayStation, PC, and Switch, because that would do well on the Switch.
Game that I want to see. I'm thinking hard though. Jesus, maybe even a Double Dragon game would be nice though. But I think we already got that. You know,
we got one coming out in 2025. That'll be for Switch 2, guaranteed.
Yeah, that would be for Switch 2 indeed. So we're already getting that then. What was another game that I used to? Oh yeah, Super Turrican.
F-Zero.
Yeah, F-Zero. That's another one. Heck, even if but I doubt Capcom would revisit that IP though. But again, another third party. Beautiful Joe. I would love to see another game in that one. Again, wishful thinking.
El Nini says you will be able to play Halo on the Switch. I can almost guarantee that will happen. Stranger Moon says, if you ask me, Nintendo will only say this. Hold up. I will only say this. Goddamn, please release Star Wars Rogue Squadron and Lord of the Rings 2 Towers on PC. It's past 20 years, even if RDR1 released. They both movie games, God's sake. And then he continues with, for me, best Nintendo console, N64. I agree, Stranger Moon. N64 is the best Nintendo console. Best PlayStation is PS1. All rest just normal consoles for me. For me, the best console for PlayStation was PS3. Earthbound, yes.
Yeah, another good one.
Konami's best
Chrono
game
Trigger, perhaps?
is not Castlevania.
For at Square Enix, then I guess. Chrono Trigger was the one.
So, question for you guys, and I want to get past this Nintendo thing because we're not even Nintendo gamers. Okay. This is more for the people out there. So we know the games that we want to see. Let's talk about performance real quick on the Nintendo Switch. So we know the Switch looks identical to the Switch 1, except the changes that we talked about earlier: bigger screen, 2 USB ports, bigger SL, RW or RL. I think that's what those buttons are called. You know, so it's going to have improvements that way. 3.5 millimeter jack. The stand is different as well. So those are all good upgrades. But what really matters is performance. What are you guys expecting? And what would you guys think that needs to happen as far as the gap between performance from the Switch to the Switch 2? So one, what do you guys think Nintendo will do? And two, what do you think Nintendo should do as far as performance goes, based on what we know, based on the size of the fucking thing, and based on the technology that's already out there? If you guys need me to go first so you understand my question.
That's what one of my biggest questions was. It's going to be more than 720, but is it going to be 800p, 900p? People will probably want 1080p. That's not going to happen in handheld mode. The fucking goddamn battery wouldn't last fucking 2 hours. No way. It wouldn't.
But hold up. The damn thing is a 1080p screen, right?
Well, we don't know
that. They haven't said shit.
Okay. We don't have to wait to reveal. But if I go off
240 for all we know.
I know. Going off of the info that I know, it's a 1080p screen, right? And I have to assume that for now. I'll just until the reveal, we don't know. But I'm going with the 1080p. So anything less than that, I'm like, man, that's kind of a disappointment.
That's and I get it
happen,
though. Period.
I know, and I get it. What you're trying
to
say.
The only 1080 native handheld
the battery life. It'll drain the battery life. I get it.
The ROG Ally, that's like $800, $900, and that bitch lasts like 90 minutes.
I know, and I get it. It'll drain the battery life. I get that. So I'm actually curious to know, like, okay, so what can it do in handheld mode?
So I have some specs that I was able to dig up online. Some specs. It may not give you guys what you're looking for, but we have here GPU clock. Rumored Switch 2 handheld is 561 megahertz. Docked is 1007.25. CPU clock is 1100.8 megahertz. Handheld mode. Docked is 998. And then memory bandwidth is 68.26 handheld or 2,133 megahertz. Docked is 102.4 gigs, 3,200 megahertz. I don't know what none of that shit fucking means. Okay, but maybe some of you guys do. Let me know.
Dated throughput.
Anybody on the chat knows?
Tell us a whole lot without the resolution of the screen resolution, because that would tell us
But
what they were aiming for.
I'm wondering, like, what can it do in open world games? That's what I'm interested in, right?
I don't think the Switch 2 will give you 60 frames. What I think it will do, though, is it will give you solid 45. It will give you open frames, so maybe it'll give you, 50, 60, maybe even 70 in some games. But I think it will be more towards the 45 frames per second where it's consistent. But I don't think it'll be a consistent 60 the whole way through. But I could be wrong, right? We have to look at what the other handhelds can do, right? The Steam Deck, the Lenovo, all these things. Okay. How many of those are giving you 60 frames per second or more? Not many. And actually, the ones that do, almost. On what games? You know what I mean? Not every game. So Nelson's right when he says that it's a handheld at the end of the day. And let's look at the price that we discussed. We all agree that it's going to be right around the $400 mark. Maybe $450, but no more than $500.
A 1080p handheld with today's battery tech, you're going to get sub 2 hours. That's not going to be enough for kids on a trip or something. It's not.
Yeah, well, right now, currently on the Switch, you can get 6-8 hours on it. You know what I mean? So I don't think that you're going to get just
the higher you're going to go up.
Yes.
Like the Asus ROG's like 90 minutes. That's why I said 800 or 900.
But the
900, but
the performance on that thing just is crazy good. You know what I mean? The Steam Deck.
The price reflects that though. Also crazy
absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely. The Steam Deck, you're gonna get it on high performance. You're gonna get about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So we'll see. We'll see when Nintendo will have the date for the Direct April.
800p as well.
Yep, I think it'll be higher than 720. Because right now it's what 1080 on docked. That's what it is at docked. 1080.
Now they mentioned 1080 as like I said from the leaks what I've seen, 1080 as a handheld. But again, like what Nelson said, sure that's not going to be feasible. But hey, and they say something about 2K in dock mode.
Okay. I think that's right. I think that will be right. I think is what because I'm comparing it to the Switch 1. So if you did 720 on handheld, 1080 docked, I'm thinking it'll do 1080 docked. I mean handheld, and I think it'll do 1200 or 1300 upscaled or something, maybe 1440.
I'm hoping 1440 at the minimum though.
Oh, you're never gonna get that
with the pack-in dock.
No, you're not gonna get that. Yeah, but
that's why I said if they had a nice dock separate that you could pay an extra $300 for, I would. I just get it later on, you know.
Yeah,
and then I would use it more. But
yeah, no, I think that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be 1080 handheld and maybe 12 or somewhere between 12 and 1440 dock. But we will see.
I promise you that. I would hope for 900.
But moving on,
the Steam Deck's 800.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on from the PlayStation or to the PlayStation. In case you guys haven't heard, man, I just feel so vindicated. I feel so fucking vindicated. But there were 2 games that got announced this week that are live service games. Well, let's take it back even further. In 2022, guys, when PlayStation said they're working on 12 live service games?
I think, was it in 23 or 22 that they announced that kind of stuff?
It was, I think it was 2022.
They were planning on having, by having out by 2025, so really they probably had like 20 something.
And they were talking about, what was it, 10 to 12 live service?
It was 12.
In the matter of 2 years.
It was 2 to 6 years or something like. They give us a range. They give us a range, and it averaged out to be 2 games per year.
2025.
You know, and I think Will is going to talk about that. The thing that I'm kind of stealing Will's limelight here a little bit. It's heartbreaking to see that good studios like Bend Studio and
hold up. You're getting ahead of yourself. We have to tell the people exactly the situation.
I'm giving it back to Will.
So basically, PlayStation. No, you're good. But I want to tell the people exactly what happened before we get into that, because that's the meat of it. What you're getting into. PlayStation said they're going to do 12 live service games. I think it was within 5 years of their announcement, which I think it was in 2022. I forget the exact dates, but it basically, remember, this podcast, guys, we're live, raw, uncut. We're going to say a lot of fucking crazy shit. We're going to say shit that may not be right because I'm not reading an article here. But
same here. I'm doing everything from the top of my
we
head.
know for sure that they said it was 12 live service games that they're working on, that they're trying to release within X amount of years, and the math ended up being 2 live service games per year, right? And we think they made the announcement in either 2021 or 2022. So that would have mean that by 6 years from then, they would have released 12 live service games. So let's just do easy math. If they made the announcement in 2022, that means by 2028, they would have had 12 live service games made and published out there for gamers to be playing. Well, this last weekend, we found out that PlayStation, on top of the games they already canceled, they canceled 2 more. That is from Bend Studios and Bluepoint. Those were the 2 studios that we found out were working on live service games that were going to make up part of the 12 that they were talking about originally. Now, before I pass it on to Tornado and he gives the thoughts about what he thinks,
I got a thought on that though.
I have a small list here of studios that we know of that have been shut down, or not studios that got shut down, but shut down their live service game or games that came out. So we have 12 studios here. The first one that I have here is Arrowhead. They did Helldivers 2. The game released in February 2024. Bend Studios, working on an unannounced gas game. It got canceled this year, 2025. Bluepoint.
Oh, never mind.
Bluepoint is the other one. Go ahead.
I was going to ask the question. How long was Ben working on that project?
We'll get into that.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
The next one is Bluepoint Games. That they were working on a God of War gas game. It got canceled this year. So those were the 2 studios that got canceled last week. The next studio, which is the 4th, Bungie Marathon. It still has a preemptive release date of 2025. The next one is
Haven's Fair Games by any chance?
We'll get to that. The next one is another game by Bungie, which is called Payback. It got canceled in 2024. Number 6, Firespray, working on a Twisted Metal gas game, canceled in 2024. Number 7, Firewalk Studios, worked on Concord. It released and canceled in 2024. Number 8, Guerrilla Games, Horizon Online title, to be determined. Number 9, Haven Studios, Fair Games, to be determined. Number 10, Insomniac, Spider-Man: The Great Web, canceled, we don't know when. Number 11, London Studios, AAA new IP, fantasy multiplayer title, canceled, 2024, studio closed. And then the last one is number 12, Naughty Dog, The Last of Us Factions, an online game, canceled in 2023. So 2023. So here we have 12 studios working on 12 live service games. Out of these 12, the ones that we have confirmation on that they haven't been canceled is 1, Arrowhead, which the game came out already, huge success. The next one is Bungie, working on Marathon. The next one is Guerrilla Games, working on Horizon, the online game, which we still don't know what's going on with that, but it hasn't been canceled. And Haven Studios, Fair Games, which is still to be determined. So out of 12 studios, we have four games. One of them, or 2 of them, out of the 4, only 1 has actually released a game. The other 3 are still tentative, meaning we don't know if it's canceled or they're going to keep going forward. As of now, we have to assume that they're still working on it because we do not know. So out of the 12, we have 8 studios that were working on live service games that got canceled. And out of those, we have Bend Studios, Bluepoint, Guerrilla, Insomniac, and Naughty Dog, who are PlayStation first-party studios. Well, they're all PlayStation first-party studios, but those 5 are studios that strictly have been doing single-player narrative-driven games. And I think that's where Tornado was gonna get to
Especially
at the
Blue
first.
Point. They've only made fucking remakes so far. That's
Yeah,
Yes.
but single player games.
So
Single player games.
now that I've explained the situation, now that I gave you guys the studio names, and now that I've explained what's been canceled, what is still going on, I want to pass it back to Tornado because he has some things he want to say about that. So, Tornado, now do you understand why I wanted to finish up with that?
Oh yeah, no worries.
There we go.
So,
Take it away, bro.
all right. So the question that I have, of course, looking at Bend, right, and Blue Point, I'm going to take those two apart, right? You'd be hoping that Blue Point would have been working on. My God, there were so many things that were mentioned from that being like, man, let's hope that they make a Castlevania game, right? That was sometime mentioned at one point, right? Then Eric Williams from Santa Monica Studio chimed in and he was like, yo, I want to do a Castlevania too, right? So you'd think that they would do something in that realm, and even a Blue Point remake or remaster was mentioned, something along the line, right? And then you hear and see this from Ben, and you're like, oh man, of Blue Point, right? And you're like, Jesus, you guys wasted time on something that was not gonna pan out. And then we get the Bend. This is the one that I find so heartbreaking that I'm like, wait a minute. You got your Days Gone 2, your sequel that you had for so long in your minds and in your hearts, and as your proposed project, and it got who shot it down? Was it Sean Layden? Because they pitched that idea, right? And it got shot down, right? Because Days Gone, the first one, Days Gone, the first one didn't do so well. That's what was being said. Meanwhile,
most people picked it up later.
Exactly, but
it
later down
it needed to make its money faster than that to get greenlit.
Exactly, but I'm here to sit. I'm just here sitting here, and I'm saying to you, Nelson, like, okay, so they needed to make their money. So did that live service game that just was canceled make their money then? You might as well given them the green light to make Days Gone 2 then at that point with an online multiplayer and a horde mode, right?
And let's remind the people that Days Gone sold over 10 million copies. So this is no slouch. This game sold copies. Go ahead, Tornado.
Even though it was slow, and I feel that has to do also with the goddamn fucking media, because it was harsh on the game, but still, it found its way to the people that actually like the game, right? And I'm still willing to bet
10 million people. That's a lot.
Exactly, and I'm willing to bet that those 10 million people are looking forward to, if they heard a whiff of a sequel, they'd be there. I
listened to. I used to listen to a lot of the media sites and stuff like that. I listened to 14 different like IGN and a Giant Bomb and all that, and none of them made it past 10 hours, but yet reviewed the game except Game Informer got to 20 hours, which doesn't even get you to the second half of the game.
No, and Nelson, last week you weren't here, but I said the same exact, you were here the previous week when I said when we're doing our top 10 games. I listened
to the show last week, so.
What did I tell you when we did our top 10 games? I told you the only reason that I only have 11 games is because I only beat the games. These fucking journalists do not play games. That's why if you're going to get your reviews, don't go to IGN. Don't go to none of these fucking assholes. They do not play the game. They can't tell you if it's good or not. I expect if you're reviewing the fucking game, not only do you beat the campaign from start to finish, but you also do
10 hours. That's like the intro to Days Gone.
But you also do the majority of the side content in order for me to read a fucking review from you. If you do not beat the majority of the side content, you're fucking worthless to me. Because you can beat an 80-hour game.
In that game. What's 10 hours in that game? That's
nothing. You can beat a fucking full story campaign in a big open world RPG in 15 to 25 hours. No problem. But there's over 80 hours worth of content. If you're giving me a review with less than 60 hours on there, then you ain't shit.
And The Witcher 3, just the main story. The best shit is all the side quests.
All right, so we already said, okay, Tornado, were you done with what you were saying?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was actually
Nelson,
for.
What do you think about this situation with the live service games, the canceled, all that stuff?
I think it's ridiculous how many they greenlit. It seems like they just greenlit everything.
Throwing what sticks to the wall,
and see it sticks to the wall.
Exactly.
I mean, none of this shit was like vetted. This studio would be good for this. It's like they're so desperate to make it that you're basically making them out of desperation instead of there's a good idea or a good fit. It's insane, to be honest. Like Blue Point, you go from making remasters and remakes. Maybe you should do like a small AA game, like Housemarque did or something like that, and then move up to a AAA game. You don't move into from remaster remake to a live service or multiplayer game. That is
It's a weird path to go through.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
At least Bend, you could say that their mechanics in their game, they had the mechanics for a multiplayer game, but
Oh yeah, they're solid. The only problem is they're
like
not
the
so
horde
so,
mode
so,
into
so
a
skilled with
multiplayer
it.
game, they at least
Hey,
had
that
part
would-
of it. But Blue Point
was
is
gonna
just
say.
that is fucking like
That's new to them, man.
in a God of War multiplayer game. Like, how are you going to monetize?
Oh
I don't
my
understand. How do you come up with content for that?
So
I don't get it.
Returnal Housemark sold over 1.1 million copies. 1.1 million. A lot of people, now obviously not me, but a lot of people will say, wow, that game did not sell well. That is a flop. You know
But yet
that
Sony bought them.
Housemark just fucking did a whole new studio, invested in all their shit. You know how they paid for all that? With the money from Returnal. I just one thing that people kept saying, and I'm gonna squash this shit right here, right fucking now, because it's fucking ridiculous. One thing people have been saying online to justify this, because let's be real, the fucking ponies are just as bad as the fucking bots. Or like Tornado likes to say, what is it? Unicorn
I'm a
or
Pegasus,
a Pegasus.
I'm a Pegasus. I'm
Pegasus.
just saying.
I am as well. But the people have been saying, well, the reason that, the reason it seems like a lot of games have been canceled is because we're hearing a lot about it now, because we have the technology and media and all that. Everybody hears everything. But if this was
Actually true though, because 19
It
games were
is.
canceled by PlayStation last year.
it is, but
You just don't know about it.
But the fucking difference is that in 2007, it didn't cost fucking whoever, Naughty Dog, $250 million to make a fucking game. They were able to do the whole Uncharted series, The Last of Us, with half of that fucking money. So that's number one. The money invested in these games nowadays are fucking through the fucking roof. These numbers are
it's
historical
high, though.
fucking numbers. So the fact
It's
that
high.
you cancel a game like Factions that they've been working on for how many years, or like the
4
game
years.
4 years,
4
or like
years.
the game
Yep.
that the developer that made Days Gone, Bend Studios, they've been working on
Yep.
this shit since how long? Since 2020 at the earliest? Fucking 5
Yeah,
years?
It's sad though, and that's time wasted. They could have done so many fantastic
It's a
things
lot of
with that.
time.
Now the
Instead-
the other thing that people are saying, well, see, these studios were working on more than just that game. A lot of them have multiple teams working on multiple games. Motherfucker, these studios, Nelson, you know about this. How many employees are in a PlayStation first party studio roughly? Give me a rough number.
Well, it depends on the studio.
It doesn't matter. Pick one. Naughty Dog,
But Ben, Naughty Dogs is like 800. They
800.
have like 3
Ben,
teams.
Ben,
About 220.
Holy
Insomniac.
shit,
Do you know?
That's a small number, man.
450.
400. Okay, great. Thank you, Nelson. The reason I asked Nelson so you guys can get a fucking idea. Now, Nelson, flip side. How many employees does Ubisoft have?
19,800.
19,800. Activision. Do you know how many they have?
They were at 25,000, but they laid off a lot. So about 21,
21,000.
22.
And every single year, coming from Activision, we hear this. Man, we really went up to the line. Like, we didn't think we were going to get this done, and we finally did it. We worked overtime. You hear it every single fucking year, and they got 20,000 fucking employees. So you're here to tell me that Naughty Dog with 800 fucking employees, or Bend Studios, 220 fucking employees, multiple teams. Let's say we divide that up by half, which we know that's not the case. Generally, the game they're working on the most is the project that will get the most employees. So they'll do a 60, 70, 80, 20 split. They're just not going to divide it up right down the fucking middle. They're not trying to put out the games at the same exact time.
You usually have a pre-development team of like 10 to 40 people, and then you have a main development team, and then you have a polish team.
Exactly.
And it rolls down that way.
And as
Kind of like a research and development team to see
Yes.
what works
The
and
only
what
thing
doesn't.
that would be a silver lining is if like Ben was in pre-development for whatever's Fallout the next game's going to be, but we don't know that, and it's probably not that way, but it could be because we don't really have a timeline of like this is the game they've been working on since 2020 or whatever. But
well, that's where my thing is
more
coming
likely.
in. Is that
Hmm.
if a game they're working on, let's say it's 80% done, 70% done, 60% done, the other game that they're working, the other team, it's not going to be at the same rate of completion. It's not going to be at 60, 70, 80% done either. That's going to be way less. That's going to be at 10%, 15% done. So all these people that were working on the game that just got canceled over the last 4 fucking years are now going to get absorbed into this other team to help out with this other game. Well, this game is still in the infancy. So yes, the money is one thing, but the thing that pisses me off the most is time. We already talk about how it takes fucking 6, 7, 8 years for a game to come out. By the time that I'm fucking 70, we're only going to have about 5 games of The Last of Us. That's it, because they take 6, 7 years in between games. And same shit with Naughty Dog. They were working on The Last of Us Part 2 and Uncharted 4 at the same time, and only 2 games came out within a 10-year period. 2015 for Uncharted, or 16, and then 2020 for fucking Last of Us Part 2, which they started working almost immediately after Last of Us Part 1. So stop with the fucking bullshit.
Instead of buying some of these goddamn studios that they bought, I wish they would have made Sucker Punch larger. They're still sitting under 200 people. That's one of the best studios. Why wouldn't you be growing that studio instead of investing in random ass studios you know nothing about? I don't.
So I have a tweet here by Nib, right? And I've shared this. I put this on the Discord, and I'm going to read it to you guys real quick because I think this is just so fucking important. And FYI, he's got charts on this shit, and he got this information from Circana. So as we all know, Circana is...
that used to be NPD. Yep.
They used to be NPD. They're good to look at. The numbers may not be 100% accurate, but you get a very, very good look.
Oh, they're very close, though.
They're very close. And he says here, here's the sad thing about PlayStation's live service failings. Their own data shows the vast majority of their single-player games have been highly profitable, even those false reported otherwise. The losses from the 8+ live service cancellations will have impacted PlayStation's margins overall, eroding some of the profits received from their single-player games and risking impacting further strategy too. PlayStation leaked data shows Rift Apart cost $81 million, and despite being a launch year current gen only title to barely any install.
Yeah, you have everyone talks about how bad Returnal and Rift Apart sold, but you got to remember the install base was only like 12 million at that time.
But Nelson, but those aren't bad numbers. Those aren't bad numbers. 1.1 million, it's not bad numbers. How many games sold over 1 million every year?
It was 500 and something.
I was going to say it. Not many reached that amount of number, though.
Well, right here, let me continue.
If you take away the service games, there's usually only 5 to 10 games. If you take Nintendo and Sony out of the mix, there's only 3 to 5 games that reach 3 million or more sales for single-player games a year.
Rift Apart cost $81 million, and despite being a launch year current gen only title releasing to barely any install, sold 2.34 million copies in less than a year, with $145 million in revenue. It was also profitable in its very first month, well exceeding Sony's own expectations. After 2 years, it has sold 4 million. Continuing, The Last of Us 2, which some claim was not profitable due to sales dropping off, cost $220 million, but sold 10 million units in 2 years with over $447 million in revenue and $227 million in profit. Since then, the HBO has massively bumped sales, and the remaster is out too. The vast majority of PS exclusives do not get close to a Naughty Dog or Spider-Man style budget. Ghost of Tsushima reportedly cost just $60 million, and in roughly 1 year sold 7.5 million copies with $397 million in revenue for $337 million in profit. It continued
for
to sell
$60 million game.
For Stranger Moon, he's saying, I think Ubisoft has roughly 45 studios.
Oh shit, that's a lot of studios, Moon.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It continues selling well too.
That's why I said when people say Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to come out and sell 10 million copies and save them. That's not enough money to fucking save
No,
shit.
Ridiculous.
It's not going to help
Now,
them.
I'm going to get into my...
They needed to sell like 40 million to save them for a year. Like
That's. I was going to say it's still not enough.
This is
I've been saying since 2021. By
Nelson's been saying this
2025,
for years.
Ubisoft will be done because I looked at their overhead because we were talking about when Bethesda was going to get purchased or whatever, and then people were like, well, maybe somebody should buy Ubisoft, and I started looking into finances, and I'm like,
no,
oh, hell no, that's the last motherfucker you want to buy. Holy shit, these guys are doomed.
Continuing, looking over other sales and revenues, and it's mostly strong and profitable. Here's a list. GT Sport, 12.7 million copies sold, 360 million. Miles Morales, 11.1 million sold, 427 million year one. Uncharted Collection, 9.7 million, $200 million brought in. Bloodborne, 7.5 million sold, $265 million brought in. Days Gone, 7.3 million first year, $265 million brought in. Ratchet and Clank, 7 million sold, 125 million. God of War, 5.6 million, $85 million brought in. Uncharted, The Lost Legacy, 5.3 million sold, $115 million profit, FYI. Demon Souls, 2.1 million, $115 million year one. GOT Remastered, 1.9 million, $110 million year one. Returnal, $1 million, $60 million year one. These are all profitable, tremendously so in cases. And in recent titles like Astrobot will have been incredibly profitable too, since it had a very small development budget and dev team allocated to it. Over 3x more people are credited as having worked on Rift Apart, yet sold over 1.5 million copies, roughly in line with Rift Apart's initial sales. Comparing LTD sales of older releases to newer releases is questionable, as the predecessors have been out much longer, but some of these sequels are selling faster, have a higher selling price, more premium SKUs, and fewer discounts. Which I told Nelson this in the freaking Discord the other day. PlayStation games do not go on sale like that, so may end up making more profit despite costing more. As an example, the data shows that The Last of Us 2 has already made more revenue than The Last of Us 1 despite being far newer. So PlayStation single-player games are nearly always profitable, while a majority of their live service experiments and projects are more often not, instead of lending to heavy losses. There are a few exceptions like Helldivers 2, which was incredibly successful and highly profitable, plus GT7, MLB The Show, and Destiny 2 The Final Shape. Ultimately, though, if only 1/8 live service projects are profitable, while 7/8 single-player projects are, they are really ought to stick to focusing on what butters their bread, quality single-player games. So at the beginning of the fucking podcast, I said, I feel vindicated. Why? Because when was the showcase from PlayStation, guys? Was it early 2023? Not a state of play, but the showcase.
Oh, the showcase one.
Yeah, where we saw
I gotta remember that one.
Astrobot, which was the one last thing we saw. The point is that during that fucking showcase,
I'm not looking this up, though.
During that showcase,
I think
it was April,
something like that.
Yes, during that showcase, we had a podcast on Thrifty's channel. I was on Discord, on social media. I was everywhere. And what was I saying? This showcase is a fucking red flag. 90% of the games showed were multiplayer online gas games. People were fucking coming at me and attacking me and saying, yeah, no, these games look fucking great. I'm like,
was that the one where they showed also fair games
yes,
in there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one, because me and a friend were looking at it, and the first thing that a friend of mine said, if they're gonna show CGI trailers, I'm gonna be pissed off. And the first thing that we saw was a goddamn fucking CGI trailer they opened with. And I'm like, oh man, and like you said, that was the red flag from there, man, and it went downhill.
PlayStation,
all we saw was live service garbage.
PlayStation gamers,
my God,
are single player gamers. And people will say, well, there is way more online gas players than there is, which is true. But also, PlayStation first-party games are selling millions upon millions of copies, meaning that even if only 10-15% of the PS5 console gamer are buying these single-player games, it doesn't fucking matter because that's what's keeping PlayStation afloat. It's a single-player shit, and not by a small margin, the majority.
A big margin.
And what did PlayStation do in 2024? The first year or not the first year, but they tripled their hardware profits. Tripled. So now they're making money out the ass with their hardware, and they're making money out the ass with their software, except for 2024, because they didn't release shit in 2024. Except for the fucking remakes, remasters, and fucking Astrobot and the third-party games.
Me as a Pegasus, I'm still happy on my Pro with GT7. I'm just saying.
That's one game. I beat 98 games a year. I'm not going to be stuck to one fucking game. And imagine, even if you are a gamer the casual gamer, right, who buys 3 games per year, that's still not enough. And PlayStation knows it's not enough. PlayStation themselves said our goal from here on out is to have at least 1 first-party game per year, which I think is too low. I think it needs to be 2 and 3. Preferably 4, should be 1 per quarter, but we'll give them 2.
I say the average of 2. It's never the same because 2020 they had 4 or 5. 2021 they only had 2. 2022 they had 3 or 4. That's not including MLB, obviously.
No.
But
and people say, well, and which is true. PlayStation keeps us fed with the third-party deals, which is true. They've been doing so since the PlayStation 1 era.
A lot of good deals, though.
They've been, phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Look at Stellar Blade that Shuhei Yoshida picked up.
Well, that's actually second party. They own that. They published that. That's theirs.
Yeah, but it's a deal that was made by Shuhei Yoshida.
Yeah, but third party is like Rise of the Ronin, where they don't own that. They don't own that franchise because they made a deal with another publisher.
But that's besides the point. Do any of those games, Rise of Ronin, Stellar Blade, do any of those 2 games have the same quality, the same polish as a Naughty Dog game, Insomniac game, any of these studios? No, the fuck it doesn't.
No, but
it doesn't.
It doesn't. They have a certain
kind of
they're
quality
good from themselves.
They're good.
It's not. They're not maybe polished or nice, well made like what Naughty Dog does or a different kind of studio, but in their own right, they've done a good job.
No, yes, absolutely they have. I'm not knocking them. I'm not knocking them at all. I'm actually praising them because they did such a great job. But what I'm trying to tell you is that there's nothing like home cooking. There is nothing like a PlayStation first-party game. We know the story's going to be banging. We know the fucking fidelity is going to be amazing. It's going to look great. We know it's going to be clean, polished to shit. It's going to be polished phenomenally. We know we're going to get a quality product. So the people saying, yeah, but PlayStation's keeping us well-fed with third-party deals or second-party deals, yeah, that's great. But I want my PlayStation first-party studio games. That's what the fuck I want. Yes, these other games, they are just...
And therein lies the problem, Will. You want those first-party studios, but if they're putting a Bluepoint and a Bend studios that they own to work on something else that's not a single-player content fee that you would like to have, and others as well, then therein lies the problem. The focus on this live service bullshit needs to stop.
Well, that's why they're going to be hemorrhaging money.
Especially Bluepoint is not built for that at all.
No. They're making... We talk shit about Xbox all the fucking time, right? For their mismanagement. What do you think is happening here? Mismanagement.
Mismanagement, yeah.
And I'm not even talking about... And I'm not even talking about the money they spent on these live service games, right? The investment that they had to pay in order to get the shit done, and it got canceled. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about exactly what Nelson and Tornado have been saying. How are you going to have Bend Studios? How are you going to have Bluepoint, who've never made a live service game in their fucking life? Naughty Dog
made a full game of an original game.
How are we going to have these studios working on something they know nothing of?
Yeah, and
then the shit you do go out and get.
And now they're going to get laid off.
No, they're not. The PlayStation said that they're not.
No. They said they weren't closing them. They said they were going to minimize job loss. That means people are getting laid off.
No, they'll be fine.
You can't blame it on those studios.
They were working on these. They said they were working with these studios to minimize job loss. You know what that means? Job loss is coming.
They're going to move them around.
Okay, but still, they can't blame it on the studio completely, right?
No,
they fucked up.
But it's not the studios at all.
No. You can't blame those studios. They just did what their overlord asked them to, you know?
Yep.
and their overlord fucked up. In this case, AKA mismanagement. Period.
That's another thing
Wait.
too. I don't think a lot of these studios. It'd be different if a studio was like, "Hey, we got this great idea. We really want to do this." I don't think this is the case for a lot of these games.
No, because Nelson, who in their right mind, and please name one studio who says, you know what, the next game we want to make is gonna be a live service game where we can do microtransactions and that's our passion. Sure, there may be studios out there that say, you know what, I have an idea for a live service game. I think it's gonna do well financially.
The only studio that would qualify from there, and we have to go to the East, is NetEase. That's the only one that can do that kind of shit. That's where their passion and their craftsmanship lie in.
But
live
that's
service.
the people
That's
they get
NetEase.
too.
But their
That's
Built
passion,
around that shit.
their
You
passion.
know when you
Anyone.
sign up at NetEase, that's what you do though, or Riot Games
Yes.
and shit like that. You
Yes.
know that's what you're signing up for.
Exactly.
And
Those are
even
the only
then-
ones that can do that.
Even then, I wouldn't say that these NetEase and Riot Games. Even then, I wouldn't say that their passion or goal is to make live service
It's
games.
not-
They're
nah,
going in
that's
there
more
you
for the
should
money.
get a
because
job there though, because those motherfuckers
it-
make
it-
billions.
well,
a
that's
year
what I'm
on live
saying.
service.
it's
Yeah,
it's
they're
a
more
job.
money driven.
Yes,
Yeah.
more money driven. It's experience. They're always hiring. They always need people because it's a live service shit. But
Exactly.
ain't no like if you're a painter, you're not gonna wake up one day and be like, I'm one of my fucking Mona Lisas I'm gonna do is a print that Walmart can sell for $10. You know what I mean? Like that's not their
You're
goal.
not gonna do it.
They want to create something original. They want to create a masterpiece. Whether it becomes a masterpiece or not is fucking irrelevant. What they want to do is they want to make their own shit. So and the thing that's really harping me on this is that we have been talking so much shit about Xbox for so many years. Well deserved so, right? They deserved it. But now it's PlayStation's turn, and we have people out here defending them, saying dumb shit like, well, we would never have known this before, but now we do, and that's the difference. No, motherfuckers, they showed us in the showcase.
They
It's
don't.
not.
They
It's not
don't,
like they just
don't-
greenlit. Like they said, hey, we're gonna try 6
They fucked up. They
multiplayer
don't
type
deserve.
games or whatever
Yeah.
this
They fucked
generation.
up.
They're doing like they want like 30 of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like
Look,
you got to be
look.
realistic.
Hey man, they
You should do
fucked
like
up,
6
and
for
they
the
should
whole
own
gen.
up.
Say 2 of them are successful or fairly successful. Do 4 more the next. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
build off that. These guys are throwing every fucking thing at the wall. Like you can't afford to do that.
No, and
Nope.
remember, these are the same people
Like,
bitching
this
and
is crazy.
These
It's
are
like,
the
it's
same-
like it's like you going to get a lottery ticket. Whether you buy 1 or 5, you're probably not going to win, but you can afford to buy 1, but you shouldn't be buying 5. You know what I mean? You're on a budget.
But the thing is, these people are the same ones that are telling us how video game development is so expensive, how, it's hard because the cost and the time and all this, while you're out here fucking trying to do 30 fucking live service games in the same breath you just told us how expensive the shit is. Nelson's 100%
It's like,
right.
It's like the dude that bitches about not being able to pay their bills, but as soon as they get paid, they're off at the casino.
Yeah, exactly. So this is ridiculous, and this is going to affect PlayStation for years to come. Years to come.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
give a shit that there's multiple fucking teams working on different games. Motherfucker, we know that affects. If you have 10 employees and 6 of them are working on one thing, the other team is going to be slower. They're 2 people short. That's just logical, common fucking sense. You don't have to be a genius to understand that there's a main team and there's a secondary team. In anything you do, there's a teacher, then a substitute teacher. There's a CEO, then the CFO.
Yeah.
There's mom, then there's dad. There's big brother, there's little brother. It's common fucking sense. So stop fucking protecting Sony. We bitch about Xbox all the time. You guys talk shit about Xbox all the time because they deserve it. Now it's the time where we speak up on PlayStation and let them fucking know that this ain't it.
Oh, they fucked up. I'll tell you straight up, and believe me,
Hey, I
and
was
I'm
right though.
saying
If you
this
look
from
at
a
that thing,
perspective.
they planned on 12 live service by 2025. Not even throughout the entire gen. By 2025.
Nice.
So in a 3-year span, they wanted 4 live service games out a year.
Yep.
God.
Like how let's just pretend they were all successful. Or they were all good. How would you even be able to you know what I'm saying?
We
Most
need to throw
people
in.
Can't play that many live service games or multiplayer games at a time.
We need
You
to
can't.
throw in another. We need to throw in another problem on top of this because we're forgetting something. On top of this live service, first they were trying to get money from these PC players as well, bringing games day and date and all that kind of crap. That shit needs to stop too, because look what's happening over there. That ain't a good look though. And sure, even if Helldivers 2 sold more on PC, these people are a special kind of breed, man, over there.
Well, you have to be able to do the math, right? How many PlayStation 5s have sold? As 60 million. Let's say PS4s. How many? 100 and what? 10 million was it?
17 million at the end of its life cycle. 117 million.
117 million. So
I think it's more than that.
Let's just
20
say
million of those were PS4 Pros.
So let's just say
that's
it's
a PS4.
Let's just say it's 200 million total. Just I know that it's way more, but let's just for easy math. Let's say it's 200 million between PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, right? And I know these numbers are bullshit, but let's just say for an example.
Yeah.
And you're coming out for 12. Let's say their plan worked and all 12 live service games went on track. They came out and let's say all 12 of them are successful. Well, that's impossible. Because in order for them to be successful, you would need how many gamers in each? You're telling me that you're going to take 200 gamers, divide them up evenly between 10, 12 games, and like, how do the numbers even fucking work out? Like, the amount of product you're putting out doesn't equate.
That's interesting.
That, and they're trying to copy other people, which they suck at copying people in the first place. They've never done well with copying people. And when you copy a game that's already out there, someone who's spent, say, Overwatch.
Concord Overwatch.
Concord Overwatch. Someone that spent $1,300 in Overwatch is not going to move over to Concord because they've spent $1,300 in Overwatch.
Nope.
Or if you make a Fortnite clone, you know how much most people have in fucking Fortnite if they've been playing for a long time? Between $3,000 and $10,000. They're not moving.
Exactly, and for the people that are listening to this podcast, remember when we talked about library and Switch 2, eh? This is the same thing, eh? From game to game, eh? You're not going to make that move. You're not going to do it.
Soldier Rev, just for his kids, he didn't realize this, but he looked through all the shit he bought, and he figured out he spent about $3,500 on Overwatch for his kids.
Holy
or not Overwatch,
shit.
Fortnite on skins, $3,500.
Ooh.
You think they're going to move games?
No.
Hell no. They're a car in. You know,
exactly.
They're a decent used starting car in. You know?
I was going to say that's a well fully prepped and cleaned up a good solid second-hand car right there, pretty much. That simple.
The fucked up part about all of this, honestly, I don't give a shit that PlayStation lost some money. Good for you. I'm glad you lost the fucking money. Fuck you. That's what you get for being greedy. But the thing that hurts me the most about all this is that the people who put them in the position to be able to make stupid fucking decisions like this are the people
out on great experiences.
Exactly. We're the ones who have to fucking bear this because we're not going to be playing as many games anymore. Not for a long time because they decided to do something outside of the fucking box because even though they were making a killing, it still wasn't enough for them. And even the most successful fucking live service games, and I'll bring up Fortnite because it's the longest running one. It's the one that's made the most money. Their plan wasn't originally to come out with a live service game that's going to take over the world. They adapted based on what their gamers
most of the
did.
Live service games that are successful are accidents.
Yeah, and
there's something that was thrown together for cheap, the whatever, and it caught fire, and then they invested into it. They didn't spend $200 million on the game and then think it was going to succeed. That's not how it worked.
So, gentlemen, let's stop giving Sony a little bit of heat right now. Let's help them. Tornado, we'll start with you. What steps can PlayStation take to turn things around and be better and you know and get away from this mistake? What would you recommend they do?
Wishful thinking, though, but in to redeem themselves, and I'd say make right by Bend Studios. We'll start with them. Give them their Days Gone 2 project ASAP, along with a good multiplayer and a good single-player story to go with it.
You mean a complete game?
And mostly focus on, a complete game, single player first and foremost, and the multiplayer is an afterthought, you know?
Yes.
Just like how GTA is being developed with GTA Online. That's how they should redeem themselves. Same goes for make right by, what's the other studio? Bluepoint, yeah. Same thing for them. Give them a project that they're comfortable with, and online is an afterthought. Just as how Gran Turismo works, the single player first and online is an afterthought. Give them their thingy to do and let them cook, you know? It's that simple.
Agreed.
Do
Nelson,
not fuck up again.
what about you?
Cut back the investment on this shit. It's ridiculous.
Well, they're already doing that.
Well, yeah, but don't do it 4 years in. I mean, instead of just greenlighting everything. Oh, it's a service. Oh, yeah, that's.
Hey, can you imagine?
If you're gonna invest in this, invest in very, very, very few and teams that are experienced on it. Don't throw minnows in the pond and hope that they don't get eaten. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say something that maybe might piss off a few people, but I don't care.
The thing about it is they have games or game types that they've done in the past that could work, like Alien Nation. Make that like Helldivers 2. You know, Helldivers 1 to 2. You make that evolution or whatever, and you have a game like Alien Nation where you're at a team.
Oh,
that's a live service game.
Yeah, view to a 3D view.
Yeah, exactly. That would fucking be banging. Yeah. You got stuff like that. SOCOM, a game like that would work, but they're going for they're trying to copy the Disney model, and it's not going to work.
Nope.
So what I think they should do is they need to just take a step back, right? Which they're already kind of doing. But the teams, Insomniac, Naughty Dog, those two off the top of my head, Sucker Punch. You need to invest in those teams heavily to make single-player games. And the type of single-player games they're going to do for the near future, they're going to do trilogies. And they're going to have all 3 games out within 5 years. Each campaign is going to be between 8 to 10 hours long. They're going to have a multiplayer element to them, just like Tornado said. Yep. Those games selling at $70 are, even if you only sell 3-4 million, doesn't fucking matter, will afford you to make some of that money back that you fucking lost on these games. 2, it's going to afford you to give confidence to your team. Because these teams working on projects for year on ends to never see them come out hurts.
Oh,
I was in the military, and from the time I went to boot camp to the time I deployed to Iraq was 1 year. By month 4 or 5, I was pissed because I'm like, I've been training for this one thing nonstop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I'm not doing it. That's like a boxer.
They told me not to unpack my shit. I was like, what? And they're like, we're deploying in 2 months. I'm like, bitch, I ain't even fucking got in my bed yet.
Same thing with a boxer. You go to the gym every single day, you train, and you never get to the fight. So let's give them back a little bit boost of confidence. Let's put them in some projects where they will release and get their stuff out there. I think that's the number one thing they have to do. They have to take it back to basics. Another thing, remakes, remasters, double down on those. But Will, weren't you just talking shit? I was, because they've been remaking and remaster shit that's fucking 5 years old. Let's dig deep. Let's go 10, 15 years plus. Let's go back to the PS1 30th anniversary. They should have been dropped remakes for that generation. They should have been dropped that shit. They need to do anniversaries every single year with games.
I'm gonna bring in Ben Studios again. Didn't they want to do a siphon filter at one point? You know, people are still fans of that. Those siphon. Yeah, I know. People are. There's still people out there that want to play a siphon filter.
I would play a new one. It just can't play like the old ones. Holy shit.
No. But something that has the charm and the atmosphere like the first one, and with a small little multiplayer added to it, as an afterthought, not as a main feed, as an afterthought. Exactly.
They have the IP.
They got the talent. Just fucking make it work, man.
Go out there. Go buy Crash Bandicoot. Pay whatever you need to pay for it. Go bring that mascot back. Do a mascot edition of games. Astro, Crash, Spyro.
I was gonna. Do
get that shit back.
Do something with the Soul Reaver franchise. Even though Aspyr has now brought out the remakes.
That's not enough. That's not enough. But I bought it and I turned that bitch off in 10 minutes. I'm like, this is an old game.
Okay, but do something new with it.
They have to do remakes.
I don't know. Do something. Do something.
What game are we talking about?
Soul Reaver. Just an example, but
the only games they should be remastering, not remakes. Remakes.
Well, they don't own that, so.
Remakes are PS1, PS2, early PS3 gen. Those are the games that should be remaking. Remastering are games that have the outdated game mechanics. PS4 games. There's lots of PS4 games that have outdated gaming mechanics, especially the first half of the PS4 gen. Those are the games you should be remastering. You can get those remasters done in a year and a half. Fuck, if EA remade Dead Space in 2 fucking years, you can fucking do it too. I understand that EA has way more people.
And Nelson's favorite team, Boo Boo Team, that made Silent Hill 2. I always call them Boo Boo Team.
Team made a good remake.
Mm-hmm. So there's ways to redoing this.
They suck forever, and they made one of the best games last year.
But you know,
Boo Boo Team. Oh,
they focus on Until Dawn. They focus on The Last of Us 2 remasters.
Yeah.
Why? Because they were the easiest. They were the easiest to remaster because they already fucking look good. They look good. They play good. So it was easy for them to take that already, copy and paste it, especially for the movie Until Dawn, which is another fucking thing they've been doing, because they want to release games at the same time that these fucking TV shows and movies are coming out, and they're focusing on new shit that is not that old and redoing it again. So the people that are fucking playing it are the same people. And yes, there's new gamers every fucking year. I understand that. But not enough to fucking... You're doing what Xbox is doing. You're telling your hardcore gamers, like, you don't fucking matter. You don't matter.
Nip
we want this new money
for that. Yeah, Nip had a nice wording for that. There's not enough hardcore gamers to satiate the growth. I can't speak out the word. To satiate that growth. Yeah, that's the wording I was looking for. So,
but that's
kind of
because they sold 10 million over and over and over again, which are the same people that got PlayStation to where they're at today. That's the confusion with people. It's like, okay, there isn't enough hardcore gamers to get the effect Sony wants, but yet there is enough hardcore gamers to sell 10 million copies of The Last of Us in 1 year. You know what I mean? You can't have it both ways. Obviously, what you've been doing has been working. This live service shit should be thought of as additive. Additionally, it should never be the main course. If I've come home and my mom has, you know, as a kid, and I come home and my mom has a whole bunch of options for hors d'oeuvres, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm like, yeah, this is cool, Mom, but where's the main dish? But you know what I won't be as pissed off as? If I come home and my mom has a main dish but no hors d'oeuvre or no appetizer. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, dinner.
Or you own a pizza place and you're really good at making pizza, but you just start making spaghetti and you don't really know how to fucking make spaghetti, but you take pizza off the menu.
Exactly, and that's what they're doing.
Keep pizza on the menu, at least, not serve a lot more dishes until you fucking figure out how to make that shit first.
All right, and I think that's enough. Anything else you guys want to say about PlayStation's fucking bitch ass?
No. Let's hope they.
I just can't believe how many games they greenlit. I was right. 12 by 2025. That's 4 a year. Yeah. That's not even the whole gen. You should have had half that planned for the entire generation.
And Nelson's right. It's not about the games they canceled. It's all the games they fucking greenlit. That's the perfect way to put it, Nelson.
Yep.
Well,
that's fucking insane.
That's,
last topic of the night.
Eggs in one basket. Yep.
Those games are time consuming too. Even if they were all great, how many do you really expect to be profitable?
Dude, even Helldivers, like for me, I'm not an online multiplayer gamer. Even Helldivers, I got the platinum in like March or April or something like that, and I was kind of done with the game. I mean, I play it here and there, but not like I was playing it before. Now I pick it up once a month, maybe. So I mean, what are they doing?
I play it a lot. I play with Tornado a lot.
Yeah, I know,
man.
But that's because you guys but you guys are playing it because it's each other. You're not necessarily like. You're not playing it by yourselves. You're playing it with people.
I swore those type of games I would never life again because I get so far behind and time's limited.
Yep. Very. All right, so last
games
thing,
like that, like Helldivers, I could put 1,000 hours into a year, but then fucking I think I'm behind now. I'm already on like a fucking buying hiatus because I'm looking at I got enough games to play till fucking summertime, because there's just not enough hours.
This year is gonna be. You're going to be even more behind because on Thursday we have the Xbox Direct.
Oh, yeah. The 22nd of January, right?
Mm-hmm.
23rd, I think.
23rd, Thursday.
Or 23rd. Not that I'm going to watch it anyway. But
tomorrow
I am curious.
Is the 20th? Tomorrow's the inauguration of President Trump. So then, because it's a 3. So, 23rd. Sorry, I got the dates in my... Hey, State of Game, State of Union. That's where I got the name from. But the Xbox director direct is
Developer Direct. Yeah.
Developer Direct is Thursday, January 23rd, and it's gonna have games like Doom, Dark Ages, which I'm excited for, South of Midnight, that's another game I'm looking forward to, and Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which has my attention.
Silent Hill 2 was really good.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2.
I was really impressed. I did not expect much out of Boo Boo Team. Not gonna lie.
El Nini, go check out my my playthrough on my channel. I did the whole game, 10 parts.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm interested from them, and like I said, I have a deep respect for id Software. I used to be playing a lot of their stuff back in the day when I was still on PC. So I'll buy that game. Believe me. I have a deep respect for id Software. It's just a shame that they're being owned by Bethesda, man. And there was a time, and I get it though, believe me, Sony didn't have the money. They knocked on everyone's door that they wanted to be bought out.
What game?
Eventually
broke at the time.
And id Software was actually looking for they wanted to be bought out, right? But Sony didn't have the money at the time. They also knocked on their door, though. But eventually Bethesda came around and then swooped in and picked them up.
Buying id would have solved a lot of PlayStation's problems. A lot of them.
Man.
A lot of them. That would have been a pickup. But
the first person space and online, for sure.
Exactly. So those are the games we're going to be talking about, but there's also one surprise in there. And I think that's what it's a mysterious game from a well-established Japanese IP, also expected to make an appearance. So out of all the games, what is a mysterious? Final Fantasy?
I don't think it's that one. I think it's a Dragon Quest game. I have a feeling.
Well, they already got Dragon Quest, right?
Do they?
I think so. I'm pretty sure they got Dragon Quest on Xbox already.
I don't know if they did or not.
Let's Google it.
Whatever the case may be, I'd be surprised to see a Final Fantasy game on Xbox. I mean, Final Fantasy 14
I can see it being 16. That was timed, so
yeah, they got Dragon Quest 3.
Okay.
That was actually eligible to come on Xbox 6 months ago, but they're always put last on the docket. Because,
well, yeah, why? Why would you put any money to get it there? You don't have the fucking numbers.
Yeah, they don't buy the shit neither.
I mean, look at Final Fantasy 14. It did so splendid, right? And I'm saying that with some form of sarcasm.
They made less money this year after they put it on Xbox. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm saying that with a little bit of sarcasm. But hey, knock yourself out, though. If you want to put shit elsewhere, good luck.
Just like we know Sony fucked up with live service, we also know that Xbox gamers just don't buy games. That's a fact. Exactly. They have Game Pass. They pay for Game Pass.
The numbers we've seen.
Well, that's why Game Pass was created. They weren't buying anything.
We've seen the numbers, man. Let's be honest. Who remembers
Remember the Capcom numbers? Holy fucking shit, dude!
I saved those Capcom numbers.
Yeah, it was like less than 2%.
Hold on, guys. Xbox is actually putting games up this year. We can't say the same for PlayStation.
Okay,
that's true.
I'll have to agree with you.
They got 5 times as many people. I would have eventually got to come up with something.
It don't matter. They're still in the business. They're still in the business.
I hate to give him his flowers, but he is right, though. They are bringing out the games. And some of these people on the Xbox side have been saying, like, we're going to play their games. Me, I'm not, though. I already gave them their chance, and they fucked up with the X1X spectacularly. So I'm not giving them my money.
Yeah, but you're not playing on an Xbox. You're playing on PlayStation. I would expect them
to have a lot of games. They bought 6 fucking publishers.
Like I said, they should be thankful that I'm throwing money towards Doom the Dark Ages, because that's the only money that they'll see from me that goes towards Xbox, or at least Microsoft, right? Because they own Bethesda.
So they do. So another thing that PlayStation also did that irks my nerve is not only with this live service shit, but the games they're coming out with, they're not what I wanted. Meaning, I wanted Jin Sakai. I didn't want this fucking new samurai. I wanted Jim's story. So even though they're fucking up on one side of things, they're still fucking up on the other side of things. Now, that's just a me personal thing, right? I know other people don't care about Jin Sakai. They didn't like Jin Sakai, whatever, but I did. It just felt like
a dog.
Yeah, fucking Jim.
He's not a bad character at all. And I'm like, why are they continuing with
the only reason it pissed me off is I was like, so what happens next? If he would have died at the end, he wouldn't be saying shit. Or, bro, you know what I mean?
They still have a whole other, that was just the beginning part of the war. There's still a middle and an end.
What the hell happened to him afterwards? I'm never going to know.
That's the shit that
Yep.
pissed me off. They're doing it on purpose. They know there's more to the story. That's what I'm saying, Stranger Moon. It's fucking bullshit. Jin is dead because it's 400 years apart. But there's no reason it should have been. They could have done Ghost of Tsushima too, no problem.
Yeah, what
and it
happened
would have
afterwards?
sold.
What happened with him and Unk? What happened to fucking, you know what I mean?
The Mongols invaded mainland Japan. You know, they were just in the island of Tsushima. So what happened to that? The Emperor,
Yeah,
you know?
did Jin just stay on Tsushima and smoke dope, or did he go over there and fight, or what the fuck did he do?
Yeah, that's
Bullshit.
a good question.
But
I'll never know.
Let's get back to the Xbox shit real quick.
Maybe he was like, "Fuck it, I killed my uncle, and now I'm just gonna smoke dope because they'll kill me in mainland." I don't know.
So what do we
Making
think
up
is
as
going to
go
be
along, I
shown
guess.
for the Direct? Do you think we'll get dates for PlayStation, dates for Nintendo? What do you guys think?
Well,
Maybe not Nintendo.
Considering how Satya is talking about we're bringing our games to other platforms and this and that, I'm tempted to say that they're going to show off stuff that they're going to bring out on other platforms.
I don't know if they'll do that at that. They might do that afterwards.
Nah,
Yeah,
they
'cause it
have
is
to.
a director
They have
direct.
to. It's kind of like how Nintendo's being forced to show the Switch 2. That's kind of how Xbox is being forced to make money on other platforms now. And like we said before, the games are not selling.
Well,
and,
you
and
can't
their own
buy
fans
five
are,
fucking publishers and expect them
I
to sell them
know,
on Xbox. That's crazy.
I know. They're in a position that they need to make their money back in the investments that they made, right? $80 billion down the drain and another 10 for Bethesda, whatever you want to call it. I don't care how much money is spent. It's money lost. And they need to find a way to make that back.
Yeah, ABK's in the red this year too. They used to make more money than PlayStation.
Now, there you go. And to what do you do to kind of combat that red, or at least go back into the black, right? That's the positive number side. You
Well-
need to sell your shit somewhere else where people want it.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think that whatever mystery Japanese game they announce on Thursday,
Yeah.
I think that game will come out day and date on Xbox.
We'll find out soon enough.
So we will see. And we also know that Xbox doesn't do physical games anymore, so it makes it much more plausible. But this is a director direct. It's not mainly used for marketing. It's mainly used more as of, hey, this is what we're working on. This is how far we've gotten. Let's show you guys some more shit. It's not meant to sell anything. All those games are usually more towards the video game or the actual Xbox showcase, which happens in June.
Mhm.
So I don't see it as a big marketing push, for consumers. I think this developer direct is mainly more for the hardcore. So I don't know if they're going to be dropping any dates for PlayStation. I mean, it'd be nice. It'd be nice for them to be like, hey, well, we know they're not going to talk about it, right? Because it's a Japanese game. But it would be nice to hear like Halo was going to come to PlayStation or Gears or something like that. Because I would buy it fucking day one.
You might as well start talking about it now. Like I said, they need to make money, and you need
That's
to
true, too.
excite some people.
You should drop
gotta come up.
drop the link for Stranger Moon so he can join the Discord and join in the chats.
Stranger Moon?
Yeah, is he in there
Oh,
already?
no,
Or
he can't. El Nini doesn't
Okay.
like me enough to go on there, but Stranger Moon can't. I already offered.
Oh,
His country
okay.
doesn't have Discord.
Oh, okay.
It's banned. El Nini just hates me. He don't fucking give a fuck about me. He likes Jez the best. You know what? I'm gonna fucking
So-
DM Jez. I'm like, Jez, I'm coming on your show, so El Nini likes me a little bit more. I should message Jez about it. I should hop on Jez's
You know
show.
what
I
always
miss
pissed
Jez.
me off? Like after 2 weeks after I got on, well, my schedule doesn't allow it anyways. But that's not the point. The point is, I got the keys to go on the Celtius Gaming Podcast anytime I want, and a month later, the motherfucker retires.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Fuck, Salty did me like
I
that
get-
too.
I get keys to the kingdom, and the motherfucker just retires after that. Like, what?
I did one episode with Salty. He told me the same shit.
You know
Like,
how
bro, yeah,
great
just
that
let
would
me
be
know.
if I had a Thursday, I have to go on there and promote the show or whatever. Here's
Dude,
where you can catch me. Like, shit.
I went on Salty's and like the next week he's like, I'm done.
Yep, I'm done. Yeah, I quit.
Ouch.
I was pissed. I was like, come on, bro. But
And
hey,
now that was supposed to be my Thursday show right now. I could really use that.
yeah, I know. Well, now we got Mooch. I don't watch anybody anyways,
Yeah,
but
Mooch was supposed to be Friday, but yeah.
or Friday, yeah. I watch a little bit of Mooch's stuff. Jess, he's the only one I pay every month. Even though I don't listen as much as I would like to, but he's the only one. I think his production value is phenomenal. The way he pulls up all the information, like Just is the best to do it, in my opinion. He's funny. He's got a radio voice, in my opinion. Mooch does too. I like Mooch because he has a variety.
He has good guests too.
He does. So those are the two main guys that I will maybe listen to every now and then. But besides that, I stopped listening to all these guys because I can't take any of these fucking people serious when they game 600 hours a year. You know what I mean? Like, you got 5, 10, 15, 20,000 subscribers and you game 600-700 hours. Fuck off. There's nothing you can say. You don't play fucking games, bro. That's
Half
just
of them
a
do it
fact.
for a living, and it's like,
and get paid. Yeah, no, fuck that, dude.
Shit. If I didn't have to go to work, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I say
would be outrageous.
My thing is, if you are a hardcore like YouTuber, shit like that about gaming, you should be at least 1,000 hours a year, at least. But if you're not, that's just telling me that you don't really care about gaming as much, because what's making up your other time is you're watching movies, you're watching TV shows, you're doing other shit, which is fine. I'm not saying you have to do strictly gaming, but if you're going to be giving these wild opinions about gaming and you're not playing games, get the fuck out of here. Like, Nelson plays a lot of games. I forget how many were from his wrap up that he played this year. It's like 200 and some games, I think. I played 300 and
I only had like 1,000 hours, but I'm working Sundays, and that's a lot of my free time.
Yep, Nelson's working a lot, which we know that. But when he's free, he's playing. If he's not with his kids,
I had 2,700 hours clocked in.
Tornado 27. I got
and around 100 and over 100.
You can tell he's single. He don't have to go to no kids shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, 2,700 hours. I'm just saying. So I put in. I did my part. I'm just saying. I did my part.
Stranger Moon, I'm not saying they can't criticize games. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is there's people that are on social media that will say, hey, don't play this game.
They spend more time on the YouTube than they actually play the game.
They never fucking played it.
They'll be like, hey, don't play this game. This game is trash. And they never played the game, you know? Or they'll say, hey, yeah, go play this game, but they've never fucking played it. And then they'll say an excuse like, yeah, you know, family work is so busy, but yet they get on.
You had 20 hours of podcast this week and you only played 3 hours.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Like, I would feel weird if you guys,
you're on show number 8 this week.
Yes. If I had
time to flex their jaws, right?
If I'm to the point where I'm making more YouTube content than actually playing games, even though my YouTube content is about games, I would feel fake. I would feel weird. I would like, why am I talking about games so much if I don't even play games as much? You know, and that's just how I feel. It's not a personal thing. You can think differently. You may support some of these people, and that's okay too. I just refuse not to. And that was part of the reason why I wanted to create my own channel, my own podcast, and I invited the people that I know that play games. And, you know, like RPG, me and him play a game every Tuesday night on our Just Playing live stream. RPG beats like 2-3 games a year. Right? Because he sticks the majority of his gaming time in Call of Duty and other shit like that. But he's constantly playing new games, constantly trying shit out. Nelson beats a shit ton of games. Nelson plays a lot of games. Same thing with Tornado. Tornado owns a shit ton of games. He plays a shit ton of games.
I'll give it a shot, though. I'll give it a shot. If it's interesting, I'll buy it and I'll give it a shot.
Exactly. But you have some people
out
here.
I don't have time for it, but I'll give it a shot.
Like, for example, I'll give you one. Lono. What's his name?
Oh, God. From Reforge Gaming.
Reforge Gaming. He told me himself, I only beat 2-3 games a year, but yet he has a podcast or a live show every single day.
Just long enough to give you an impression of it.
Exactly.
It's basically for his content. That's what he plays it for.
It's content. Yep, content. So by the time he's done, by noon, 1 o'clock or whatever, then he's done with gaming. He's done, and he's doing whatever he wants to do.
Unless you pay him extra, and he has a stream.
Yes. So I don't understand why people will go to him if he doesn't even play the games. And he told me that himself. He's like, yeah, no, I only play a couple of games a year. So it's not that I'm making this up. He told us. He told me personally.
Yeah. Straight from the horse's mouth then, pretty much.
And I'm like, all right, dude, go get your money. So people that watch him, it's like, okay, they're watching him. And look, there's nothing wrong with watching somebody because you like that person, right? Oh, that he's funny. He's charismatic. That's fine, bro. Do what you do. I'm just saying.
Take some time. I just won't give him any money.
People all over my Discord talk about him and his videos and shit like that. I don't mind. I don't care. Do you? I just don't respect you as a gamer. That's it. I do respect you as a content creator because this shit's hard. I respect you for doing live shows because that's not easy. Not everybody can stand up there and talk for 2 hours, 3 hours to the chat and, you know, be interactive and engaging. Like, he's a beast at that. You know what I mean? But for the gaming
I'll
part,
give him that though.
I don't respect him for the gaming. He's not a gamer, in my opinion, right now. Because he used to be. He used to be playing the Destiny games. He used to be in competitions and he used to kill it in that shit. But ever since that situation happened, he just kind of rebranded himself a little bit, which is what I would have done too. But shout out to Lono. You know, he does a great show over there. A lot of people like him and watch him. It's just he doesn't beat games. He doesn't really play many games, so I have no reason to watch him personally. So I'm not gonna waste my time over there. Mooch, I like some of his shit because you have a variety of people that play a whole bunch of different shit with crazy fucking opinions and it's entertainment. Otherwise, Jess, I think is my favorite because he's funny, he's engaging, and he plays games. But to each his own. That's why we all have a YouTube channel. You have options to pick from. And I'm thankful that you choose to spend the time with me. You watch my videos with Nelson and Tornado and whoever else is here. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. The whole point of this whole YouTube channel is just to get in communication with other gamers, see what you guys are playing, what games you like, what games you don't like. You guys have recommended games to me that I didn't even never heard of before, or games that you think are good that you think I should play. So that's what I really like about my YouTube channel. I'm not here to make a living off of it. If I get to that point, great, awesome. But I'm not here specifically to fool my followers or my viewers to think something of me that I'm not. I'm a single dad. I work a 10-hour, 9-hour job every single day, and my gaming time is in the evenings. Instead of watching movies on the weekends, I play games. Instead of fucking watching TV shows, I play games. So you talk to me about any movie or TV show, more than likely I haven't seen it if it came out after 2016. Otherwise, I invest my time in gaming. I still do shit. This weekend,
The few movies and shows I watch are video game related.
yes, video game related.
I'm not gonna lie. That's why when they're like, "Oh, there's a Ghost of Tsushima cartoon," it's like, "All right,
What up,
something to
Nate?
watch." Finally.
How you doing, Nate? Thanks for kicking in. And Nate, open door to you too as well, man. Whenever you want to hop in, feel free. But yeah, man. So that's just how I invest my time is in gaming. That's how Nelson invests his time in gaming. Doesn't mean we completely don't watch movies, right? Because we went to go see Sonic a couple weeks ago, so that was cool.
I wanted to see that day one.
Yeah, me too. Well, day two. But yeah, man, we just game. We're gamers. That's why I created the channel, and you guys are gamers, and that was the whole reason for this, is to just build the community. And it's cool that we have people from Europe, which is Tornado. We have people from the UK, from Australia, from Canada. I mean, we got people from all over the world, man. The Middle East, and I just think that's fucking cool as shit. Like, never would I have thought that I could talk to gamers from all over the world, and that's the reason for my channel. So I'm glad that you guys stick around. We've been growing. We're getting bigger, which is cool. It's going at a pace that I never thought we ever get to, but we're doing it. And every week we will have this show on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I hope you guys show up. But anyways, let's do our little goodbyes real quick. Thank you, Tornado, for hopping in today. Tornado, welcome. Anything else you want to say about anything that we talked about?
That's something. If I had a job like a Nate, I'd get fired. I'd be fucking playing video games all day.
At the end of the day, looking at what's going on, I always keep, and it's a little bit of a cliche thingy, but hey, at the end of the day, vote with your wallets, man. Spend the money where you feel like, hey, this deserves my money. Vote with your wallets, man. That's the only thing I can say.
Absolutely.
And that's it for me.
Nelson, my co-host.
That's what I say. If you don't like something about a game, or I'm being super stingy this year on games. Shit.
With your wallets, man.
Like I said, like my wife just started the year out in a wee woo, and I'm gonna have plenty of bills on my hands. So yeah, you're gonna have to really earn my money this year to get a full price release.
I agree. I'm with Nelson as well. And look, I buy a lot of games, guys. Like a lot of games. A lot of games.
I'm really toning down my my day ones this year.
Well, I don't do too many. Well, I do a lot of day ones in comparison to the average person, but yeah, I've also don't do too many because these games go on sale pretty quick.
I usually do probably 30. I'm probably gonna do like 7 this year.
You do 30 day ones?
Probably, yeah.
Dude, you're fucking, and you talk shit about me. You're the one. You're fucking crazy.
Well, I buy like 60 to 80. You buy like fucking 200 a week.
Yeah, but they're
I'm a
$10
little bit
games.
I'm a
They're
little bit
fucking-
Well,
slimmer on
a
that,
lot of the
though.
ones I get used
I'd
are $10
say
too.
Yeah,
I
no.
have free for this whole year. If they come out this year, I have 3 games that I'm looking forward to.
I know on
Doom: The Dark
PlayStation only I
Ages,
had 63.
that open world game Ananta, and another open world game, The
Oh,
Mafia
yeah.
Old Country. Those are the 3 that I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
for this
let
year.
me
and
give
that's
you
it.
guys the list. I always say this every podcast. So
That's it.
upcoming games. Now I'm gonna give you guys physical because I don't really buy day one digitals ever unless it's the only way I can get it. But and Nate says I'm being extra picky this year. Game sharing helps though. Yeah, I just don't buy digital games. That's my problem. That's why I can't game share. But man, I do buy a lot of game guys.
You have
like
a kid too, so I can't game share with a friend either because
and
my
and
game
the-
share is my kids.
yeah, because you got
Yeah.
2 kids. In the month of
go.
December, I think I ended up buying close to 35 games. I'm sorry, 25
shit.
games in the month of December alone. But you have to think a lot of these games were
Still a
$10, $15. A lot of that money came from gift cards from Christmas. I ended up getting like $300 in gift cards. So I just
Holy
bought
shit,
video
there you
games.
go.
So
Bada bing, bada boom.
it's a lot of games that I buy, but I spent very minimal on it. I'm signed up to all the points, my credit card points. Like last year, my American Express, I spent like $300 in game points by itself. Why? Because I used my card to pay all my bills. I pay it off at the end of the month, and then I get all those points. So there's ways to do things to maximize for you. Same thing with the PlayStation Star. Every time that
Yeah.
you buy a game, you get
Oh,
points. It's free.
Yep.
You don't do anything. So that's what I do. I got to put gas in the car, use the card. I get the points,
Yeah.
and I pay it off immediately. But every time you do spending like that, it can afford you to spend in your hobby. I don't watch TV, so I don't pay for Netflix
I'm not gonna lie, I might buy Fatal Fury day one just because I really want to support that franchise and I wanted to
do it.
to make a comeback.
I did the same thing
And
with
it's
Baldur's
50
Gate.
bucks.
I don't like.
Fatal
I don't
Fury.
like.
I'll give it a shot. I think I put that on the wish
That's
list.
that's a game from my childhood, and if it's any good, it's $50. I want to reward them for making a $50 game, and I want to see that IP come back.
Dude, I did the same shit for Baldur's Gate. I don't like turn-based, but I support the studio. So, getting with the list. So, this is physical games. Once again, guys, some of these games may be digital as well, but I focus on physical because that's what I do. But just to give a quick recap, starting with January 7, we have Wise Memoir Old Felgen, which came out. Then the Resident Evil's PS5 version, so Resident Evil 2, 7, and 3. Dynasty Warriors.
Wait, 7's getting a PS5 edition? That's probably going to be full price, isn't it?
No, they're $30.
No, I already own it.
Yeah, you already earn it. It's free if you own it digital, bro. This is for physical only. So if you want to buy the physical version of the game, then it's $30. Dynasty Warriors Origins just came out Friday. That was this last couple days ago. Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition, which is another version that is physical, PS5 version of the game. That comes out the 28th. Sniper Elite Resistance comes out. Dude, I didn't even know I had Sniper Elite 6 or 5, and I own it. I don't know how the fuck I did that. Phantom Brave, Honkai Star Rail Trailblazer, that comes out January 30th. Sniper Elite, I already said that. What else? Kingdom Come Deliverance, which will be February 4th.
Oh, yeah. The Precinct, you have that on your list by any chance?
The Precinct? Nope, that's not here yet.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a PS5 edition of this. I might play through this again.
Of which one?
The Biohazard.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, they did the Biohazard. They did them all basically around the same time. Resident Evil 2, 3, Biohazard. This was like few months ago.
Oh, well. Oh, well.
All
I
right,
bought Resident Evil 2 on Xbox, so.
Bro, I beat Resident Evil Village first, and then I beat Resident Evil 7, and then I went back and played 2, 3, 4.
They've done 7 and 8. 7, then 8.
That's the one that Nelson was talking about. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Yes.
Yep, that's the one.
I got that one on the wish list. I'm actually curious about that one too, though.
Sid Meier's Civilization comes out February 6th. Skydance Behemoth, which is the PlayStation. Dude, that's another topic I wanted to get to tonight that we couldn't, so we'll get to it next week. But Skydance Behemoth is a game that came out in November or December digitally for the PlayStation, but now you're getting a physical PlayStation 5 copy, which I will be buying. I've been looking forward to that game for a while.
Is that that's a PSVR 2 title, right?
PSVR 2. Yep.
I want the
Yeah, I was gonna
Alien
say.
one, but man, working on my feet, it's not meant for a lazy person. If I work sitting down, I'd play a lot more VR, but I don't. I'm on my feet all goddamn week.
So Nate here basically has a list of all the games I want to get to. Ghost of Yote, Death Stranding 2, Split Fiction. Split Fiction is Gotti.
Split Fiction is that's
calling
day
it.
One, no question.
Assassin's Creed Shadows, Borderlands 4, GTA 6, Expedition 33, which we should hear more Thursday with the Xbox
Expedition
director.
3 I might get day one.
Me too. I don't like turn-based, but this one looks different. Metal Gear Solid Delta, been waiting on that. Nelson
that's
is fucking
day one.
He will do a
I'll buy the fucking ultimate fucking man-made statue of the goddamn thing.
Exactly. So what else do we have coming out? Plucky or Assassin's Creed that got pushed out to March. We have RPG Maker, Plucky Squire. You get the physical version of that.
90s?
Yes, exactly.
Holy
like
shit,
that.
Shit, Monster Hunter Wilds.
And I think that's gonna be on the Switch.
What's the Kingdom Comes
that's
February.
also showing up. Yeah, man.
Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza. Nelson's looking forward to that one. I don't know if he's gonna. Are you gonna get it day one?
I might wait till after I beat Split Fiction.
Split Fiction is in March.
Yeah, I know, but if that comes out in February, that's probably a 100+ hour game.
No, Like a Dragon comes out in February 21st. Split Fiction comes out end of March. So you have basically a full month.
Maybe then, yeah.
Let's see. So Plucky Squire, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza, Monster Hunter Wilds, February 28th. So there's 2 heavy hitters coming out that same day. And shout out to that Sega team with Like a Dragon, dude. They stay working. And Nelson, remember that talk that we had about?
Yeah, I can't believe there are only 300 people. I thought there were 3,000 or
exactly.
RGG. I'm not going to say their full name because I'm going to butcher it, but RGG is the studio.
Ryu Gugatsu.
Yeah, Ryu Gokatu, something like that.
They use a lot of the same shit in their games. You know, that's why their games all look very similar.
Yep.
Then we have Monster Hunter. I said that already. 2 Point Museum, for those of you guys that like that game, they come out with a lot of them. Split Fiction, never mind. Split Fiction comes out about a week after. So
yeah, I'm waiting.
Yeah, so Pirate Yakuza comes out the 28th of February. Split Fiction comes out the 6th. So yeah, a week later.
I've got hundreds of hours of games I haven't finished from last year yet.
Yeah, so we have let's see, that Split Fiction. I'm really looking forward to that. What else do we have that's big that's coming out? Oh, Ellipse, but that's gonna be just physical. Atomfall comes out the March 27th, and we'll keep it at that.
Atomfall doesn't look fantastic. I'm not gonna lie.
Titan Quest. So some of the games that don't have dates that I have on my list: Little Nightmares 3, Titan Quest 2, Gothic 1 Remake, which I actually have pre-ordered through GameStop because I got it on sale for $35. Yes, sir. So I got a good deal on that. Indiana Jones already came out. Metal Gear Solid doesn't have a date. But yeah, we have a lot of shit. Inotria. Project Z.
I know it's only on PC, but I have a feeling a console version is going to show up as well.
For what game?
The racing fans out there, Assetto Corsa Evo. I know it's going to have a console release at one point.
Oh yeah, well,
Terminator Survivor.
Access, so
yeah, that's a lot of shit, bro. A lot of shit coming this year.
I think we're gonna know a lot more too, because I think PlayStation will have a show in either February or March. And they'll have first or second and third. Yep. Yeah, State of Play. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that State of Play is gonna go over Ghost of Yote. I think that's what that's gonna be about if they do. Clockwork.
I think they'll show because we don't know when. What do you want to call it? Because they're gonna have to fit in with GTA coming up, and if they have anything in the fall that's gonna be fairly big.
Dude, they're gonna do Ghost of Yote.
I was going to say,
what's the game? We don't know when Death Stranding's coming out, and if that comes out before summer, if there's State of Play or whatever.
I'm going to tell you right now when they're going to come out. Ghost of Yote will be out before summer. Death Stranding before then.
Late spring.
Death Stranding 2.
They have to show that.
Death Stranding 2 will be a holiday 2025.
And then what about Lost Soul Aside? Nobody knows about that either.
Oh yeah,
Lost Soul Aside is a third-party game. PlayStation doesn't really give a fuck when it comes out, as long as it comes out between.
That is made by PlayStation and one guy from China.
I get that, but it's not a first party studio game. So as long as it comes
It's
out,
their first party making it. So yeah, they do. They're publishing it.
it will be.
it
will be
It's made by-
between-
It was started by. It's all their studio.
It will be
except for
between.
one guy.
Yeah, but it's not gonna have the push. What I'm trying to say is it's not gonna have the push as a Ghost of Yotei or a Death Stranding 2. So this game
but
is
it'll have
gonna
the
come.
the push of Stellar Blade or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it'll have
do something.
no, it'll have
do
less because they're
something, for
not.
sure.
Well, maybe because they've been promoting this game for a while. But it'll be between Death Stranding and Ghost of Yotei. Those
They gave them
three,
their own employees. They'll push it somewhat.
those three will be the three
They'll
major
get something.
games coming from PlayStation this year. Why? Because that PlayStation spent the wrong amount of time and wrong amount of money investing in live service, and they can fuck off. But
Well, they
Bef-
fucked up. It's that
before we take off for the night and say, I want to say thank you, but also every single person who talked shit about Will 777 JP back in early 2023 or early 2020, whatever the showcase for PlayStation was, and I said there's way too many
They haven't had a
multiplayer
showcase since, like,
games.
2021.
simple.
What are you talking about? They had a showcase in 2024, bro. Early
No, they
24.
didn't. That you just keep calling them a showcase. That was a state of
No,
play.
that was a showcase.
No,
The one
it
where,
wasn't.
where they showed fair games. That's the one that
Yes.
was that people said like, "Hey, that's a red flag," and I said the same
That
thing
Yes.
was
to a friend of
2022.
mine.
That was
No.
Spider-Man's
Hey.
first showing.
No,
and
that's when they showed
credit-
Stellar Blade for the first time, dude. There's been two showcases this generation, 2022 and 2024. Remember, we waited 2 years.
I'm gonna find it. Let me look.
I
it
didn't
up.
count that one as a showcase. It was terrible.
No, you were fuck you. You were one of the people that attacked me for talking
wa-
shit.
That was a fucking state of play.
I'm gonna
No,
look it up,
dude,
man.
that
I'm
was
gonna
a
look it up.
showcase
Yes,
because
that-
it was
I'm going.
the
You're
last.
talking about the one. You're talking about the one where they
I'm
showed
gonna look it
Concord.
up. I'm gonna look it up.
No, that's
That was
not the
not a
one I'm talking
showcase.
about.
Well, then I don't know what the hell you're talking about. 'cause
Actually-
the last showcase they had, I talked
Actually,
mad shit about. I
you're
gave it
right.
a 3.
It did have.
I
No,
know
the
I'm
fuck you
right.
didn't. No, you're right. They showed
Yes, I
Concord
did.
because they showed a 10-minute thingy on
The
there.
only good game they showed was Spider-Man and fucking Phantom Blade. That's it.
Fair games.
And Baby
That's
Steps.
showing.
Ooh, or whatever the hell it was.
Hey, hold up. So the Fair Games trailer was shown like a year ago. Let me see if I can find a date on this sucker. Where is it?
That's a state of
Supposed to
play.
be- It's supposed to be a date. Yeah, the 24th of May 2023. That was when Fair Games was shown for the first time. A CGI reveal trailer. Yep. So it was indeed 2023. And that's when we saw the red flag,
Yes.
though. My friend already
Yes.
said it. Like, he was like, yo, if they're going to
Yes.
show CGI trailers, and they did for the most part on all of the games mostly. And yeah, that was pretty much the red flag, man. Everything was live service. My God.
Yeah, everything was live service. I called it out.
Yeah.
People were like, "Shut
Yeah.
the fuck up! It's PlayStation. We gotta
No,
trust
no,
them."
no.
Like, nah, these games take
You were
years.
right. You were right. And I saw the writing on the wall. I was like, man,
The only
When
thing
are
that
we
looked
gonna
good
get
in
a
that
good
whole
game?
thing was Phantom Blade and Spider-Man. That's
Yeah,
where we
that was-
actually seen gameplay of Spider-Man.
yeah, that was the
And I was
only
like, that
thing
was the worst showcase fucking
Spider-Man
ever.
2 was the saving
If they
grace on
didn't
that
show,
show.
if they didn't show fucking Spider-Man, that would have been a
And
fucking
Phantom
1.
Blade and everything else was pretty much garbage. My God, man.
They fucked us, bro. The
And
people
this-
that got
this-
them to where they're at.
Yeah, this Fair Games, I hate to say it though, and
I give a lot more leniency with the state
Hey,
of play, but
and-
when you
and-
say
and-
it as a
and-
showcase, I'm expecting a lot better than just something I already know that's coming.
And just for the people that are listening, hey, you never know, because there's always people that are like, oh, you're a woman hater and this and that. No. This is more like the title that you're offering. It looks like a Payday-like game, man. Nobody
Yeah.
asking for that, man. Ask how those people are doing with Payday 3, man.
And even
couldn't
if
even
Hey,
make
you
it
know
a
what's
success.
funny? When they came out with Payday 3, they effectively killed Payday 2, which was still going
Exactly.
strong.
Yep.
It's
And
fucking
shit,
crazy.
man.
That
Even
game went
if-
strong for 10 years, and it was so bad that people stopped playing
I-
the old one, too.
Hey, whatever Jade Raymond is doing in that studio in Haven, and I hate to say it though, that Fair Games is gonna bomb, man. I've been saying that for the longest. Will see my comments every now and then in the
Yeah.
Discord, man. I've been saying it not without a
Yeah.
reason to attract attention to me. I know what is gonna happen.
Yeah.
I've seen this before happening during
Yeah.
the Sega Saturn era, right?
Yeah.
We're now going 20, 30 years further in time. We're now in 2025, right? And I'm seeing the same shit, man. This game does not have it.
Well,
It's
Tornado.
already dead on arrival.
Well, yeah, it's common sense. But even the
Yeah,
last
you can
state of
see
play that PlayStation
You can
did,
see
where the one last thing was Astrobot. Even that showcase, I was talking shit about. I was like, this is
Yeah,
the
that
worst
that wasn't
state
a
of.
showcase. That
I
was a
said state of play. I said
State
even
of play,
that state of play
it
was
doesn't matter.
fucking trash.
Even if it was a state of play or a showcase, whatever you want to call it, you could already see the writing on the wall in the direction where they were going.
Bro,
You would be like, yo, what is this? You know, what is this?
So 3 years,
Yeah.
one showcase and about 2 state of plays.
Yeah.
Between those 2 years were all multiplayer. So I think they did a total of maybe 4 or 3 state of plays and 1 showcase in 3 years.
I think the single player games you can
they
count
didn't
them
have a lot
on.
of state of
I'm
plays.
not
They
even
usually
going to
have
say.
3 a year.
I'm not even going to
But
say.
they only had
hand.
2 showcases this whole year, and I don't even count one of them because it was so fucking bad.
Man,
Well,
that's-
the only real showcase we've had is 2021.
Well, that's
maybe
the
2 or
point.
3 potential titles you could see in there.
And you guys
Man.
know at the end where I said, and the one last thing was Astrobot, and not anything against Astrobot, because Astrobot's phenomenal game. Fuck, game of the year, right? And I loved it. I got to play that thing.
For a state of play.
I
For a
bought a copy
showcase,
of that
that's
one as
shit,
well.
but
Hey, I support
No,
it.
that is
state of
not.
play?
It's a platformer. You do not do
Oh,
your
what?
one last thing as a platformer. That's not what you do. It's never been fucking done ever, unless you're Nintendo.
Yeah,
And they did it.
Only
though.
third party.
Yeah,
The whole
and Sony
point
pulled
is
it
that
off.
they had such shit games in there that the one last thing was fucking Astrobot. That should have been in the beginning of the showcase.
Yeah.
But they saved it
And
for the very fucking last thing. That's how you
the
know they were
platform-
fucked.
The platformer, pretty much, in this case, our little plucky friend Astrobot, has saved Sony's
Saved it.
ass from last year, pretty
Saved it.
much, you could say.
Saved it.
They
Yeah, they
saved
really
it.
did. If they wouldn't have had that, that would have been, well, first party wise, that's a
It
complete
would have been a
L.
disastrous year, pretty much. If
Yep.
it weren't for Astrobot, the little plucky robot, man. I'm just
Yep.
saying.
But that's it, guys.
That
All right,
motherfucker's
man.
making money off of
Yeah.
me.
We will catch
My
you
kids
next
even
week. Same
Poison
time
this shit.
as today,
Yeah,
8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Next week, Sunday, which we
Thanks.
will have a lot to talk about. We'll have the Xbox developer direct that we'll be talking
Yeah.
about, and also whatever news happens this week, and any games we played or beat. So thank y'all so much, and we'll catch you next week. Keep it gaming.
All right. Damn